one. YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages and bicep sizes, welcome to another Tuesday evening edition of ARMTV. We're talking tonight, and we are nearing the day that we have all been so excited for. Desperation Day coming up on Friday. We've got 3 enormous matches, and tonight it's good old Uncle John. And as always, I'm joined from a distant tropical location tonight by Gary Roberts. What's going on, buddy?
Crowd goes wild. What's up, bro? Welcome, ARMTV Nation. And Uncle John, do you have a name for your community?
Not really. I mean, my top level patrons are Uncle Maniacs.
Uncle Maniacs, that's right.
Yeah.
Uncle Maniacs.
Yeah.
What's up, Uncle Maniacs? Welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for running the show tonight. I'm on vacation. Of course.
Happy to. It's the biggest, it's literally the biggest arm wrestling week of the last year and a half, right?
You know, there was like in the back of my mind. So my wife, she's like, hey, we're going to go on vacation. And I was like, okay. And I never even for once thought about the date.
Yeah.
And then so she just booked it. And of course, as a dude, I am not paying attention. And this was like a long time ago. And then the match started getting hyped up, and it was like the date. And I swear for like a month, they were talking about the date. And like this light bulb went off in my head, but like the bad light bulb.
Yeah.
They're like,
oh no,
the fear. And I said, one, not just because it conflicted, but I thought for like a millisecond that I would try to go to Dubai.
Right.
For like a frack. I mean, you never know. I was prepared for a call. I was like, maybe somebody would call and say, we need your ARMTV. But so I called my wife and I was like, what day are we going to the Virgin Islands? And she's like, oh, it's like the 20 whatever. And I'm like, I said this. I said, you're already the best wife in the world.
Yeah.
Could you possibly be one? I was like, on the off chance someone was to ask me to come to Dubai, would you consider changing your plane tickets? And at first she was like, I don't know. But then like a couple days later, because I didn't press it, I'm like, this is not one of those battles. I'm not going to die on this hill. I'm like, yeah, I'll try to watch it like a regular dude. But then a couple days later, she said, do you really want to try to go? Like, it would be a pain in the ass to switch tickets, but she's like, I would consider. I said, no. I said, here's my opportunity. Do not switch the tickets. I will not go. Just promise me this, that you'll let me watch it. Like, if it happens on a particular day, that you'll let me book out some time. And of course, the best wife in the world said yes. She's like, you go watch Devon, Larratt, Michael Todd. You go, boy. No, she didn't.
He was that excited about it.
That's right. But anyways, I'm here in the Virgin Islands, and this is my Airbnb.
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet.
Thanks. You know, I've always dreamed about having these kind of doors. Anyways, it opens up, and we are overlooking the bay, Cruise Bay.
Nice.
And the water. We went swimming in the water. It's sick. Nice. Anyways, that's where the sun set right over there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty awesome. So here we are, and I'm probably taking advantage because she's like letting me gonna watch the Devon, Larratt, Michael Todd match. Yeah. Not only that, I'm like, we have the Tuesday night podcast. I'm like, what do I do about that? So, anyways, I asked Uncle John, hey, can you man the ship tonight? Of course, Uncle John, the sweetest guy in the world, he says, I got you, bro. I got you.
Not a problem.
Anyways, ask me what happened. This has got this great story.
Yeah. So you wanted this big lead in. And by the way, for everyone in the chat, we got 75 people in the chat already. Tonight is going to be all about Desperation Day. It's going to be all about Dubai. We're going to talk about some of the rules. There was a big 30-minute long rule video that just came out on Larry's channel, and it had me dying. Seriously had a heart attack a couple times in that video. So we got to talk through that. Got to talk through that. But hit us. What's
Okay.
What's up in your life right now?
So the reason we're in the Virgin Islands is because my wife's friend, she was quarantining down here. She's work from home. She's like, I got to get away from cold Denver. She came down here. So it kind of worked out where like, hey, let's go on vacation. We can visit my homie.
Nice.
And so she's here in the other room. And of course, I'm preparing for this. And, you know, she came to the wedding, hung out a couple times, but probably haven't been around her that much since I got fully into arm wrestling. And when I met all these friends, like back in the day, I wasn't doing arm wrestling. I was doing CrossFit, bro. So she just gave me the, tell me about arm wrestling. I know Caroline has said a couple things, but basically I don't get it. And so I am like, yes, this is an opportunity, proud of what I do. I go into my full spiel, ready to convert another human. It doesn't matter to me whether I have a whole crowd of people or one person. Every time someone asks me about the sport of arm wrestling, it is go time. Anyways, I go into my whole thing. I see the eyes glazing over. No deal. No deal. Then it came like, and do you arm wrestle? So I pulled up a video showing me arm wrestling. Back when I graduated from the novice class, still not although, so I don't know if you've watched that novice, Gary Roberts graduates from novice, but I really get into it. The growl, the dog comes up, and of course my wife is rolling her eyes. She's like, I don't like when he acts like that. And I'm like, that's what you got to do to win a match. You got to get fired up. Anyways, long story short, I did not succeed.
You did not.
I was telling you off camera, like, it doesn't matter whether I'm in front of like a major sponsor or trying to convert a friend of my wife. I go full tilt. This is my opportunity to, but the reason I told you it's one of the greatest stories, because whenever somebody does that to me, I'm like, it like recharges my batteries. Yeah. Because when they glaze over, when they're not buying, when they're thinking, oh, and I was like, oh, there's this show called Parenthood where the kid is kind of an autistic kid, and he has some disabilities, and he's really into bugs. And so when family, friends come over, the kid goes off on a bug thing, and the parents just say, hey, you just roll with it. Just listen to
talk about
because just let them talk about the bugs, because if we don't, it'll be a big to-do. And sometimes when I'm talking about arm wrestling, I feel like I get that. People are looking at me like, so it just empowers me to continue doing what I'm doing. I believe in what I believe, what we're doing here. And it's funny because as we're in a major, this is a momentous occasion, right? For the sport in the last couple. Yeah. I was talking to them. How big would you say in this match, how big in years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years of all time? Like, would you say this is the biggest thing going on like ever? Say goodbye. Hey, are you leaving? Say goodbye. I just told a story about you.
Look, I think there's no doubt. Well, first off, let me tell you two things. One, yes, this is the biggest event in a very, very long time. Number two, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, Gary, but people are far more interested in the fact that when you sat down in your chair, it sounded like a gigantic fart came out. We actually went up 10 likes because of that fart alone. So, and now it's Fartgate is what's happening in the chat. So,
my bubby,
there's the kid.
So anyways, the point of that whole thing is that I can't stop, man. I have these people who look at me glossy eyed, like I'm the bug dude. Like,
I think a lot of us get that. I get that all the time too, right? Like, anytime I go to someplace new, like I think it was a year or two ago, I had to switch doctors, and I get in the doctor's office, and she's like, "You're a professional what?" And then you go into the whole thing, and blah 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 blah. I kind of have my spiel ready to go, and depending on who it is, it's either the quick version or the pitch version.
And like when I'm dealing with like a friend, I'm hoping, you want people to think, oh, you're you're awesome. That what you do. I mean, to be honest, I've had two of the coolest jobs in the world. And when I used to travel the world filming for arm wrestling and then CrossFit, I don't care if you don't love the sport. The job that I had, dude, I'll compare it to any job in the world. Be your own boss, make good money, travel, see the world. It's like, even if you don't love arm wrestling, there's no way you can't tell me that the job is not awesome. I mean, it's an awesome job. I'm not, as a stay-at-home daddy, I'm not quite hitting the road like I used to be, but we'll get there. But anyways,
hey, Ryan Espy in the chat said he may come in to give his perspective on the matches. Ryan Espy, come on in, Ryan. Buddy. Love to have you.
Join us, big dog.
Okay, so where do you really want to start tonight? Do we want to start by talking about, I mean, we've already given our positions, right? You're Team Michael, I'm Team Devon, right? We've already got that out of the way.
We spoke last Tuesday.
Yeah.
We mentioned before that there was some movement. Has anything changed in the teams and spirit and since we've last spoken? Has anything moved the meter?
I feel, chat, let us know what you guys think, but I feel like there has been a swing more towards Devon, especially since the most recent videos have come out, like the rules video that came out today. Devon looks enormous, and it's not bad enormous. Devon looks good enormous.
He does look big.
Freaking huge is what he looks. And he looks ready. He looks, I mean, and this is not to say that Michael doesn't look good either, because Michael looks like a freaking machine as well, but god damn, he's big. And Michael said that Devon told him that he had hit the scale at 290 at one point in time. 290.
What?
290.
Has he ever been that big?
I don't think, not 290, not to my knowledge. Daniel Urich with the first super chat of the night. He says, people look at me weird when I tell them I'm a professional super chatter. That is way harder to explain. Harder to explain. Oh, that's a good one.
Dude. Oh, I just spoke to my brother because my brother launched this online electronics store. And I was like, oh, you can be my first sponsor for my ROTN show. But I was trying to describe to him the YouTube and the ad revenue. And I was like, and on our live shows, people like tip us. And he's like, he went up like what? I'm like, yeah, people, because everyone knows YouTube is so horrible in their profit sharing that people give us tips. Daniel Urich, thank you for the $5. Bubs, thanks you. Say hi to my bubby.
What up?
Wait, say hi. Wait, bubby. Wait, say hi. Say hi to my friend. That's Uncle John. Say hi.
What's up? Hey, so a couple people in the chat, Gary, want to know, are you on Team Michael or Team Rebecca?
I'm on, I believe a strong family unit is, wait, what? Oh, did Rebecca switch sides?
Oh, I think it's just identifying that, Rebecca kind of runs some of that show.
Listen, I am a huge fan of Rebecca and Michael. And listen, anyone out there, you people, anyone who's giving Rebecca Todd a hard time, listen, this is hard work. This is hard work. I dare any of you to try it. That alone.
I don't think people are giving Rebecca a hard time. I think they are giving Michael a hard time because we all know how much work Rebecca does.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at him at his team. I think it's like a perfect combination, right? Michael does, he's the one that looks awesome, and then Rebecca's doing the behind the scenes work. I love the like us. Like for me, when you go live, it's much easier to bounce ideas, like to bounce sound bites off of one personality for the next, for then just to be by yourself. So I think that alone is helpful to have, you have this, Michael Todd, the big beard, and then you have the cute wife. It's like, sure. I think it's a good balance, and I love them. I'm team both. Now, as
Good.
far as Team Michael Todd, dude, I swear to God, I'm anyone can win this match, dude. I don't know.
Okay,
bro.
okay. So let's be clear. There is not enough data, relevant real life data, to really make an accurate prediction, right? There just isn't, because neither of these guys have pulled in a real match in a very, very long time with someone who is at their actual level. So it's really hard. It's like I'm on Team Devon because I'm on Team Devon, right? I don't have any secret data. I don't have any secret information. I'm just throwing it out there because it's easier for me to be a heel to Michael than it is to be a heel to Devon, right? So that's the route I have chosen. But if anybody's out there saying like, oh, I have the data and I know that Michael Todd is 77.2% the strength of this and that. No, you don't. You don't have it. So this is highly contestable at the end of the day, but I'm still saying 4-2 Devon Larratt.
Well, I haven't analyzed all their previous meetings. I watched them quickly, in and out, I'm busy up in this bitch. So when I look at Devon's channel, I see him by himself. And then I look at Michael's channel, I see him by himself. What's really weird for me is when I see the post of the last day, to see them side by side and be like, you can straight compare the masses. It's really interesting. Mm-hmm. And it does make Devon look beefier. like he just looks beefier than I remember.
Yeah.
Michael Todd has kind of always looked beefy, but
Michael Todd is a different Michael Todd too, right? If you remember the Arm Wars super match they had, that was when Michael was like 300 pounds, right? He was truly massive monster Todd. And then he was cut down. I think he was fairly cut down for the second match, but now he seems to be like, you can't look at Michael Todd and say, oh, he's not in shape. Like, he's in the best shape I've ever seen him in. Yeah. At this point.
I mean, does Devon have the same heart that Michael Todd has regarding not wanting to lose?
The same, match? No, but is he uncompromising in his determination to win? Yes, I do believe so. I just think it's different. It just works differently than Michael's determination, but I do think they both have it, and they both have it at a very, very deep level.
Since the country was turned off for so long, it's really fascinating to see, like, as a guy, I'm more of a sports fan. I'm not an athletic. I do sports, but to see what these humans can do, if they put their mind to it, they're allowed to train 100%. They're eating for the fight. They're training for the fight. They're thinking for the fight. To see what you can do to the human body, it's quite miraculous. Like, it's cool to see that these guys, like, to see it, they have a target, have a date, have a reason, motivation for why they're doing this. It's like, it's amazing. You call 4-2 Devon?
I'm calling 4-2 Devon. I hope so. In the data I have, I'm saying 4-2 Devon, but in my heart, I hope it's 4-3 Devon, because I think it would be the best if they tied it 3-3 and they forced the tiebreaker. That would be the best for business, right? That's what I truly want to see. So the replay can be shown 1,000 times and it's down to the wire and it's just blood and guts, the whole 9 yards.
So Larry Saakashvili, and I still can't say that.
Saakashvili.
He says, you're the only guy on Team Mike. Here's the deal. I'm the guy. Is there any way you could, like, give him a Ritz crackers, like something to chew on?
Hey,
or some milk is.
This is a good segue. Jay Gilbert with a $5 super chat says, who's on the couch, Gary?
That's my brother-in-law.
Nice. We also had Mike Hawk with a $1.99 super chat. He says, will Devon gas out gaining all that weight?
That is a concern.
It is a concern of a lot of people. I mean, he was lighter last time, and he still gassed out last time. So by his own admission. So we'll see.
I got 2 points. I got 2 points. Someone says you're the only one on Team Michael. Here's the deal. When I'm watching a football game, if everyone in the room is pro one team, I'm just the guy that says that makes me want the other guy to. I always go underdog. Like I just am that guy. So if you're telling me the entire community is Team Devon, it even gives me more reason why to be Team Michael. But that being said, I love Devon Larratt. I mean, but for fun, there's nothing wrong being Team Michael in this situation. Now, to support that fact, that is the one concern that I have. Is I still remember we talked about it. I don't know if you know, we hit 20 shows. This is 20 weeks in a row. We've been doing ARMTV calling.
This is number 20? Mega.
20, bro. 20 weeks. That's amazing. I mean, big. So I remember when Michael Todd came on and he specifically said, the last time I tried to go big, I didn't feel as amazing. And that's my number one concern for Devon Larratt with the pancake diet, with the syrup, down the gullet, is that, if there's one guy you can't afford to have match the endurance, it'd be Michael Todd. So there's a chance Devon Larratt could come out 2-0 and then Michael Todd comes flying back. I mean,
sure, it's possible. It's possible, but I'm not sure how possible it is. I think that Devon has sold us a story on how his training has gone, and he has told us certain things, and we've grabbed onto certain things. I made a freaking rap about pancakes. Okay, that's how much of a story he sold us. Now we just have to ask ourselves realistically, how much of that story is true?
I mean, if he is the biggest we've ever seen him, it has to be true. You can't get that big without eating like that.
Well,
right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's eating a lot, but I want to go back to this idea that Michael is not, or that Michael is the underdog, because I think he is and he isn't. Okay. Michael is the underdog when it comes to the fans on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Devon has a huge following. Devon is also way funnier. So I think that people who are just the fans, which of course, Travis Page would say don't exist, but people who are just fans are definitely on Team Devon. And there's a way bigger Team Devon army than there is Michael. However, if we go to the betting, the staking, I've been told that Michael is a big favorite over Devon when it comes to the staking and what people are actually putting money on.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that because I haven't really looked it up yet. Have you looked into this staking thing?
So just a little bit. So to me, and chat, I'm sure a lot of people know more about it than I do, but my take on it is it's basically a loophole to bet, but you don't win as much money as you would if you were actually betting. Like the reward of it is less. And what you're doing is basically putting money towards, it's like you're putting your money in a fund for the athlete, and then you get a return if that athlete does well. So it's like not betting, but it's
not betting.
It's not betting, but it's kind of betting.
So if I put up $20, what can I win?
I'm not sure what the ratio is, but I'm sure like if you bet 20 on Michael and Michael won, you would probably win like 30. So you would get like $10 more. But it might not be exactly like that. Chat, what do you let us know what the actual over? I don't even know what the right words are because I don't really get into it too much.
Yeah, I'm going to try to look it up before
myself,
the day.
But
Larry Saganashvili says, Gary on Monsters payroll. No way he's actually on Team Mike. Listen. I told you guys, we're on 20 weeks now. I told you 4 weeks ago, I don't know if I can have a pick on this, but Uncle John was so clearly Team Devon for the fun of it. Yeah. I'm wearing a Team Michael shirt just I bought one because I'm trying to support the channels, but it makes it easy when you're so Devon for me to be Team Michael, because at the end of the day, I love them both, and I just want awesome arm wrestling. I want huge numbers, and that's true for you too. But I mean, like, I could flip to Devon in like 4 seconds. It's not like.
Yeah, look, I told this to Michael when I switched, because I was on Team Michael to start. This has all been my master plan. I was on Team Michael to start, and then I dramatically switched to Team Devon. And I tried to express to Michael that, look, I love both of these guys, but I need to be a bad guy to someone. And it's way easier for me to be a bad guy against Michael than anything else. Right? It allows me to be more creative. It allows me to have a little bit more fun. I don't know if Michael gets that, or if he appreciates it, or if he hates it, but I hope he understands what I'm trying to do.
I mean, here's the thing for Michael Todd, for his dreams to come true, the haters have to multiply it by 10. Like,
yeah,
bro, it's one of those things where, like, if you want to really hit it out of the park, you're going to have 10 times as many people giving you trouble. So you're going to have to like roll with it. It's like,
yeah,
like celebrities who live in like Hollywood. It's like they sign up for the big movies, they make the big payday, but at the end of the day, they get harassed by paparazzi. It's like,
right. Straight up.
It comes with it. It's like, it's funny to see celebrities in the very early days. They're like, oh, they've had their first hit movie. They're rocking. They're on the cover of the first magazine. You watch. They love the paparazzi. They love them. They do some interviews. And then 10 years later, when they got their Oscars and now they're bigger than everyone else, that's when they're like, get out of my face. So it's like in arm wrestling, if you really want to make it big, you should just wish for paparazzi, wish for haters, wish for more trolls, because that's coming. If you get your wishes, that is coming. This chat right here, like Larry Sagashanavili, is he related to Devon? Are these the same guys?
All members of the army. All members of the army are related on some level, I'm sure.
Do we know who any of these? Before this chat is over, somebody out. Well, I want to know one of these guys. Do I know any of these trolley dudes? I
don't know any of them. I actually know one or two, but they're not known, like you wouldn't know them, right? Now there's nobody I know that's like a popular arm wrestler or arm wrestling commentary person, and if there is, I don't know who it is. Also $5 super chat from Jace. Uncle John has a weak hand and wrist fun. Thank you, brother. I'm trying to work it all the time. Are you any of these trolls? No, I am not. I do not have the time and or the energy to make extra content as a troll. I'm way too busy trying to make content about the trolls and or otherwise.
I don't mean to get off topic, but do you pay attention to Devon Sagashanavili on Facebook?
Larratt?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've seen all that
people
stuff.
Seem to be really upset. People seem to be really upset about this. Like, is that?
Well, it's a fine line, right? So some of it is people just accept as funny, and then other stuff people deem to be a little bit too spicy. And then if it's a little bit too spicy and somebody gets a little burn in the mouth, then it ramps up real quick.
Yeah.
So but I don't always participate because I don't know when it's going to get too spicy.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep lighthearted about it, but then anyone, so we're trying to, we're trying to make a living at this, right? That's our goals. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Like if you're on Facebook creating memes, can you make what's your motivation? Can you do some of this? Like, can it turn into anything?
I don't know. Maybe it could. I don't know how, but if Some people just they don't want that, right? They're not interested in that. They get their intrinsic motivation, or it intrinsically motivates them for whatever reason. And there it is right there.
My baby lost me. So I mean, as the sport grows, this is only the beginning of that craziness. So you might as well just roll with it. Devon spinning wheels. I have 3 accounts. Joe Mama. Okay, so let's get to the since last week. Everyone's in Dubai. I've seen the photos.
Yeah.
They look like they're having an amazing time. Do you wish you were there? Like, are you like?
I would love to be there. I would love to be there. It would be amazing.
If the world wasn't shut down in Canada, would you have gone over there?
I would have definitely tried. I don't know how much a ticket to Dubai costs. It's probably a lot, but I would have definitely tried for sure.
I mean, if you were in the States, it'd be less. When we sent Derek, it was like $800 from LA.
Yeah, if it was under $1,000, I would go for sure.
I mean, to me, $800 is completely doable. That's like when we were like talking about that idea, I was like, well, it all depends on the plane ticket. And the minute I saw a plane ticket was under $1,000, I was like, yeah, why not? Okay.
So we still haven't talked. We did have a match added to the card. So there's 3 matches now. So Coach Raymond Lipens from Voice of Arm Wrestling, he will be taking on the UAE national champion, whose name I forget. I'm sure somebody will put it in the chat for us. It's an interesting match. I don't know a ton about the guy from the UAE, but I'll definitely go with Coach Ray. He has proved that he's gotten nothing but better and better and better. And you really got to be a smart, strong arm wrestler if you're in the similar weight category to Coach Ray to beat him. Like he's very solid.
Is it the same scenarios? All these matches, like best of 6 sort of?
I believe so. In the rules video today, Bill Collins said that whatever the rules are for one, the rules are for everyone. So each match is apparently at this point going to have the exact same rules.
I'm so behind. I don't know who Coach Ray's arm wrestling, so it's hard for me to get motivated by that one. It's Larry Wheels, Schoolboy, Devon, and Michael.
Yep, and 3 matches.
Now Ray is arm wrestling UAE guy.
Yeah, Mazahir. His name's Mazahir.
Mazahir. Okay. Good luck, Ray. I hope this is so. Like, what time we rolling Friday?
All right. So I've seen this posted around a little bit. It's got the Core Sports logo on it, and it says that the matches are going to start at 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 1 Eastern, 2 o'clock Atlantic, which is 9 p.m. GST and 6 p.m. BST, whatever the heck that is, 1 a.m. in Western Australia. So I'm like, this has been a highly contested thing. Nobody knows when the times are. I'm assuming these are the correct times. So 10 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Atlantic, figure it out from there. It's a wonky time. I don't know. It would be much better, I think, on a Saturday, but maybe they couldn't make it happen for one reason or another.
I think they should have done it like Saturday night, prime time. I mean, is there a magic number to increase your pay-per-view, or this is going to be hit no matter what?
I'm sure it would be better at a different time, but then they would have to do it at like 5 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning Dubai time to hit the prime time here, right?
Have there been, I saw some people saying, where's the advertisements? Where's the promos? Have they started rolling out promos yet?
I have not seen a single video promo. I've seen that they have little, like, just the pictures, like Larry versus Schoolboy and Ray versus Mazahir and blah, blah, blah. But there's been, as far as I can tell, it doesn't seem like they are too invested in advertising this match. They seem to be willing to just kind of let it happen through everyone's YouTube channels.
So that's really important. I know some people are like, they should do more. But by not doing more, if this is a hit out of the ballpark, like
Mhm.
a straight, if this is a straight home run, and all you had to do was, talk about it on your YouTube channels, I mean, that's a very positive. That proves the power of the influencer. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean,
That's the biggest thing that we all need to hope for, is that at the end of the day, this thing turns a buck for the people who will put on the next one, right?
you watch the rules.
Oh God, I did watch the rules.
Oh, okay. What'd you say? I said I called you before. I said, hey,
Yeah.
Uncle John, so you watched the rules? And you're like, what'd you say to me? You said
I
something was funny.
said, yeah, what did I say? I said I almost died, not
It
in a
was
good way.
painful.
It was
Yeah.
painful, and then it
And
was
I was surprised.
okay.
I was surprised by that, because here we are. We've gone over the rules a few different times, and now we're here on Final Countdown, and you're telling me that you listened to the rules and it still was a little
Well,
concerning.
let's talk about the big one, because I think the biggest issue that we will run into is the difference between a running foul and a match stopping foul. Okay. It seems to me, the only difference between a running foul and a match stopping foul is advantage gained. So if you come up a little bit, it's going to be a running foul. If you come up and you gain a cup in your wrist, that's going to be a stoppage.
They said that up and gain.
Up and gain. That was the exact thing that Bill Collins used as an example. If you gain anywhere, so if you foul and you're gaining position this way or this way or this way, that's going to be a stoppage. And the only way that can be called is by Bill Collins making split second decisions. Okay. So this is one thing that people need to remember, is that people are, either way this goes, people are still going to be pissed, but we have to have faith in Bill Collins. And I think that Bill is a excellent referee, at the very least, excellent referee. He's probably got more experience than most other referees combined. I think he will do a good job, but do not underestimate the difficulty with which it will come actually refereeing this match. Now, the second difficult thing.
Okay, okay. Pause on that moment for a second. So let's say we're heavily into the arm wrestling. Now, as a viewer, you're going to be seeing maybe some pop. I mean, dude, I see it every day. I post a video and then the commenters like, oh, look at that foul. Oh, look at that foul. Oh, look at that foul. It's like, Monday morning quarterbacking. Everyone at home is the best ref in the world, but we are not going to know whether it was a non-call or a running foul. Like, we won't be able to decipher the two until the match is actually stopped. And then Bill's announcing, well, that he was on a runner.
Well, so this is the other issue too. They did say today that they're going on some level to have video review. Now, I don't know what level that will be on, but that could cause issues. And they also said that they would be able to protest as many times as possible.
Let's just translate that language right there. This is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be all over the place, but the viewers are just could be mayhem, bro.
Oh, I'm sure it will be one way or the other, because the people are going to be getting confused. And we haven't even talked about the King's move issue, because I don't know if the King's move issue is 100% cleared up or not.
Yeah. Oh, don't get into that yet. Don't get it on. We're not done with that other one. Okay, so if I'm a producer and I have the best match in the last how many years? 3 years? The best thing going in arm wrestling in 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just use that in 3 years. And all my audience is YouTube audience. They've been driven from YouTube audience. I mean, couldn't you say the more protests, the better? Like, you should protest. Like, if I'm a producer of a movie and I'm like, yeah, protest like the viewers are going to go up the more crazy it got, right?
Yeah.
If it was just straight, clean 6 matches, no fouls, no funny business, nothing interesting, I mean, maybe you have less views. I don't know, right?
It's very possible. Well, Bill Collins was very clear. He said, we want to see the matches finish. He said multiple times, I do not want to foul you guys. I want this match to go, and I want to help facilitate that. But you guys know how to arm wrestle without fouling, basically, is what he was trying to say. So please do it, is what he was intending. So I'm anticipating that Bill will referee this thing in a very professional way, but with a slight twinge, as he should, towards keeping the match going.
Okay, can I say my one concern?
Mm-hmm.
When I watch, so these are not, when I came back into the sport and I watched wall matches, they extended the pad, right? They made the pad bigger, went back a couple more inches.
2 inches in the back.
Okay. So I understand. Yeah. So I understand Wall's goal was to, like, the entertainment factor, but it's like, you made the pad bigger. And then I saw so many matches. Let's say my hand is the pad. I hate to use Michael's example because I was studying Michael. So Michael's down here, and he, there's so many situations where his elbow is like so far removed from the actual pad and they're not calling it. I think that's my biggest concern as a viewer. You've already made a pad bigger. It's like, we're going to let you go with the little things, but for the love of God, you can't let the athletes get, on the table, and like, they've got to stay in that space. You know what I mean? Like, that's the biggest.
Well, I think that's the problem a lot of us have with the WAL, is that they have rules and then they don't necessarily consistently enforce those rules.
So in your opinion, this won't be that?
In my opinion, I believe that Bill Collins will be much more strict. I believe this will be a much more strict refereed match than their last one at WAL, or than the typical WAL match. I could be wrong, but it seems to be that they're putting a lot more effort into, okay, let's really sit down and think about what the rules are. At this point, I don't really have any problems per se with the rules. It was just that the way they talked about the rules was like, oh my God, please don't do that. Okay, thank you for changing that.
Okay, so this will be really interesting because I want to know if production-wise, will Bill Collins be mic'd up so we can hear?
Hope so.
What he's like. I don't know what their camera situation is. But if we, like, it'd be better for the audience if we could tell if he's kind of commenting as we're going, that's a no foul. I'm not calling that. That's no game. So kind of keep the audience in the loop for what he's thinking. Like, if there is a lot of movement, if he verbalized, okay, you're on a runner, like, make it, they announce that, right? They make it obvious.
They should. Yeah.
Okay. Now you were talking about the King's move. That's another part that bothered you. Oh, wait. Joe Mama has a super chat.
Joe Mama, let me go back. Gary, thanks for the video you posted about Armbet trying to go 4-4. I just watched that today, by the way. That was a pretty sweet video.
Why just today?
I don't know why today. It popped up in my feed and I was watching it when I was doing cardio. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And he says, would have been more, but subtracted for John being Team Devon because popularity. Yep, that's why I choose Devon. Popularity. Yeah.
Is that second sentence related to the first one?
I don't know.
Separate?
I'm not sure.
Joe Mama, that might be the most neutral, nicest potential thing you've said to me on this channel. Okay, so the King's move, it bothered you.
Yeah.
What they said about it.
Okay, well, so the situation that they put themselves in is they were talking about the King's move after they were talking about running fouls versus match stoppage fouls. Okay. And I'm still don't know if I 110% have this all clear in my head. But what they originally started saying was that if you are in a king's move and you are in a neutral or losing position and the humorist is in a declining position, that would be Bill Collins said that would be a warning. And I'll give you a warning to stand back up. And then everybody was like, whoa. Well, okay, so it's a warning. So how many do you get to cut? And then Devon stood at the table and he's like, okay, so if I go down, you give me a warning and I stand up and then I go back down and then I come back up. And Bill Collins was like, yeah, you can do that. And I'm like,
that's WAF, correct?
Well, that's
here's what I remember. Here's what I remember Bob Brown doing a video on this where he said, this is what WAF is, but this is why it is a problem. Because if you're here, you go down, warning, get back up, go down, which is, I mean, that's what Crazy George could do all day. I mean,
right. So then everybody kind of was like, they Gary Roberts everything, and they stopped everything. And
what?
So
the Gary Roberts?
Yeah, they were like, and so then now chat. I don't know if I believe if somebody really smart in the chat can give us a good explanation. But if they're in the king's move and they go down, it will automatically be a foul with no warning. But I think it's
wait. If they're in a king's,
if you go into a king's move, it will be an automatic foul. But it's not clear to me if it will be a running foul or if it's always a match stoppage foul. So if you go into a king's move and you don't gain any advantage, is it a running foul? Versus if you do gain advantage, it's a match stoppage foul, or is it always a match stoppage foul? That was the part that I didn't really understand fully. So maybe like I saw Eric Racine is in here. Eric Racine probably understands it much better than I do. Eric, if you have the kindness in your heart to give me a little genius explanation. Robert Kelly with $5 super chat says, these rules are set up to let everyone fight. If the intention is to gain advantage, it stops. If it happens while you're trying, it's okay. Yeah, that's accurate. But it's not okay. It's still a running foul. If a foul happens, but it doesn't gain advantage, it's still a running foul. But the problem is, it's not a problem per se. It just becomes very difficult when you're the main ref and you're the one that has to make all those split second decisions. It's very, very, very difficult. I think Bill Collins has as good a chance as anybody to catch him, and I'm happy to see what he's able to do with it. But it's trickier than people are. They're like, oh, these rules are they're fine. There won't be any issues. Yeah.
Okay. I can help me out here.
Yeah.
I feel like Michael Todd has gotten all the heat on the King's move, but Devon Larratt is King's moved as well, correct?
Yeah.
And from my memory and videos that I've watched, they haven't been recent, I feel like Michael Todd is very comfortable. He gets a lot of heat. They quote say he's under the table, but he does do a lot of arm wrestling where he's just in this more neutral position. Like he can do that just fine.
Against Jerry Carteret, he had a whole different thing he was doing where he stuck his ass out, but he was actually at table level, but he was still able to engage a lock in this weird kind of forward leaning position.
Am I not correct to think that Devon Larratt has gone really low? Like,
oh yeah, they both have in the past.
He's been a bigger violator of the below at times than.
Here's the question though. Like, all this goes away if neither of them kings move. Some people seem to think that there is absolutely no way there's no kings moving. Other people seem to think there might not be any kings moving in this match.
Okay, when your shoulders are not below the table but just neutral, that's not this. this is to me like that's bad.
Well, it's
This
like where do you draw the
this is-
line? They've just decided to draw the line when the humorous is in a declining position. Anytime it goes into a decline, that's when the rule
Right.
kicks into effect.
So if Devon, Larratt, and Michael Todd are both arm wrestling with their triceps flat on the table, are you going like, oh my gosh, King is moving? Like, is that what you're
No.
thinking? I only feel that way if they get like the stop sign really
I
bad.
don't care what they do. I don't care what they do. I'm all for a full expression of arm wrestling ability. Okay, Eric Racine. He says a match stoppage foul is better for the person committing the foul than a running foul is. That's what I don't like. So you'd better gain an advantage if you commit a foul. This is a very, very good point. Because if you're going to commit a foul, why commit a foul that just allows the match to continue and then you have to win the match? Why not just commit one foul where you do a gain advantage and then you get a restart? That's way better. So that's an incredibly important point about the difference between these running fouls and match stoppage fouls. I don't believe that people are understanding the significance and the way that will be used. Because I guarantee you, Devon is already thinking about this stuff and how to use that to his advantage.
Jason Genova Arm Wrestling says, super chat, $15. Do you guys think the blankety blank? It's not a super chat, just typing super chat. You got to actually click the pay now, buddy. You got to pay us.
Do you know who Jason Genova is?
No, I don't.
Oh, goodness. That is exact. Jason Genova Arm Wrestling, you're on point, because that is Jason Genova is like, just type his name into YouTube, Jason Genova highlights, and you'll learn very quickly why he's doing that.
Okay.
Hey, do you know somebody named Kibby Sports?
Me?
KIBI. They're in the waiting room. I don't know who
KIBI. I have no idea.
I hate being in charge of people.
You're in charge of the mute button. We haven't had somebody yet. Bring somebody in.
All right.
It's bad.
All right. We'll see what happens. We'll bring them in. We'll talk about it.
I'm curious to know someone who's an expert on this staking.
Yeah, that would be good.
I mean, it would be nice to know more long term. So I saw Michael Todd said that the block was sold out. So there's only so many.
There's only so many.
Oh my God.
So much of an amount of money that can be staked on each competitor. And then somehow, and then if Devon catches up, I think they open more blocks or something like that. So I'm not 100% sure how it actually works, but people seem to be using it a lot. But here's what I'm excited for. I want to get to the point where I can be on the staking website. I want to be the athlete, because the athlete gets some of the money, right?
Yeah. You okay? Okay. I mean, I would love to add this staking business to my ROTN events. I mean, that'd be amazing.
Oh, it'll be awesome.
Jason Genova says, last warning. Am I going to get what's happening? QB Sports is a troll. Someone says, don't believe it.
Anyways, I guess.
What about Larry Schoolboy?
Yeah. So I have been a pretty hardline schoolboy guy for the entire time, mostly due to the fact that we have not seen Larry in significant competitions, right? In tournaments, in other super matches. All the matches we've seen him in are in his gym with guys that he's bringing in, whatever. Still massively strong, but it's different. It is different. I'm telling you. So that was my limiting factor for Larry. But Larry looks pretty damn good right now. Larry has looked really good over the last month, getting all the coaching from Coach Ray. And then Devon gets over there, and Devon's like, Jesus mother, this guy looks pretty damn good. And Devon saying that kind of got people's wheels moving. Larry also went on Neil Pickup's show, and he's like, I'm winning. 4-0. Larry is massively confident in his ability. And Coach Ray will say, look, I don't have enough data on Schoolboy, but what I can tell you is that Larry Wheels is a completely different arm wrestler than he was 6 weeks ago. So clearly, Larry has been moving. He's been moving for the last year, but I think in this last 1 to 2 months, he has been making some significant improvements. He looks more natural on the table. He's pulling in different angles. That being said, I'm still going for Schoolboy.
So I read on Reddit, I think it was Reddit. Somebody said, I read on Reddit, and I don't know how reliable arm wrestling. Derek, how reliable is arm wrestling Reddit? Someone said on there, and I have zero idea if there's any accuracy, that Schoolboy, what's his real name? Alexander? Is it?
Yeah.
That he was a little burnt out and over arm wrestling.
Well,
and I'm wondering, the chat, has anyone heard? Because it would be interesting to me if you take a guy who would be necessarily the favorite if he was as fired up as, let's say, he was in the past, and then compare it to Larry Wheels, who has to be, I mean, he just must be on point with fired up.
Yeah.
Per what you said. It would be interesting if Schoolboy is given 110% preparing for this, or is he like, yeah, I'm badass already? Like once you're awesome, do you really train as hard as you used to? Like, I don't know the answer to that
question. We have no idea. Right? They've put out maybe 1 or 2 Schoolboy training videos in the last couple months. I have no idea. I don't think anybody really has much of an idea as to where exactly Schoolboy is. Now, Schoolboy standing next to Larry, I think Schoolboy looks bigger than he's ever looked, right? Schoolboy isn't a big human. He is a big human. Obviously, he's not as thick as Larry, but like, don't be.
Oh, yeah. He does look bigger.
Yeah. He looks
large. Like he's the tallest guy in the room, right?
I don't know if he's the tallest, but he's certainly up there.
Yeah, there was a big, like 10 of them all lined up across. Are they going? They're not. Devon and Michael, their main event, right? Larry and Schoolboy before.
Yeah.
Oh man!
So here's the deal. If you ask, if we change the question from who's going to win to who is it better for arm wrestling? Who is it better? Oh my God, I'm the worst commentator ever. Who wins and who is better for arm wrestling? It's going to be Larry.
I mean,
Larry, 100% it's Larry.
Whoa. Okay, so Larry has a huge follow. Larry's at 1 point. Larry's like 1.5 million or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But Larry has so many of these other connections with these other guys, right? He's in it with Half Thor. He's got all these other super mega crazy powerlifting, bodybuilding specimen humans that also have their own channels, so they can spread arm wrestling farther and farther and farther. Larry Wheels is also fairly, good at, talking and all that kind of stuff.
I go one step further. What if it's actually better for the sport if Larry lost?
Okay. Walk me through that idea.
I mean, like I started off this show with somebody saying, tell me about arm wrestling. Eyes glazed over. They were looking at me like, I don't know. I'm not buying it. If you're Larry Wheels and this is such a big event, Mizell Jador said that there's over 100 grand staked.
Very possible. Very possible.
If you were to be able to calculate and see the future of what Larry Wheels would do for the sport of arm wrestling if he won, if he lost, if it was a hard lot, like, I don't like that. I can almost imagine that as fired up or what he'd want to do. I mean, you can imagine he'd be like, rematch real fast. you could actually maybe have a bigger show sooner than if he like won. Is like, okay, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe.
I don't know.
Some people don't like losing.
Well, of course.
I don't take Larry Wheels as the kind of guy that would lose and then slink off and disappear.
No, certainly not. I think Larry seems to be in it to win it one way or the other. And I think he will continue on either way. It's just a matter of, how intense is that going to be? Is he going to take a break for a while? Like if he just gets crushed, is he going to take a break for a while? Will that stoke the fire? We don't know the answer to that. So, maybe, but I would, in my heart, I would rather see Larry win for the goodness of arm wrestling. But I do believe
as someone said, I was a contrarian just with Neo Barry. I'm not being a contrarian. I'm just saying if he were to lose, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I think win or lose, the sport wins regardless. Like if what you're saying is, someone said it's confirmed $110,000 staked. If $110,000 has been bet, I mean, that must confirm the numbers that we were talking about for pay-per-view possibilities. You know what I mean?
You would think if you're betting on the match, you would think you're also, but who knows? Like, are people putting $1,000 bets? I see people say they're putting $1,000 bets on, but I don't know if I believe it. Like $1,000 is, I mean, maybe people are just way richer than I am, but.
Is anyone else coming? This was a call-in show. Come on,
yeah.
Someone call in.
TV Sports was like, I thought it was open discussion. Well, we let you in, and then you shit the bed, and you didn't.
Well, he said he's from India.
Yeah. Well, we let you in, brother, and then you weren't there. You didn't have any video. You gotta have video, or else you ain't getting in.
We're at 97 thumbs up. Let's crack. We're at 230 people watching. Come on. Crack that thumbs. Crack that thumbs. Okay, so we are doing a live watch party.
Yeah.
Describe to people out there who think that we're just going to stream the match for free what a watch party is.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a watch party is where you can come to discuss the pay-per-view and listen to us talk about the pay-per-view while it's happening. But what you're seeing on your screen right now is very similar to what you will see on Friday. We will not be broadcasting the event. That is what you call illegal. So no, we won't be broadcasting any of the pay-per-view because we would likely be taken down, I'm guessing, rather quickly. Yeah. And
well, we wouldn't be making very many friends in the Larry Wheels camp. Michael, Todd, Devon, Larry. Oh, look at Uncle John. Like, we're not that dumb. I mean, come on, give us some credit.
Here's the thing. Like the amount of people that were like, they saw a watch party and they were like, that's illegal. I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, come on.
No, ladies and gentlemen, here's how I will be doing it. My laptop is right here. I will be watching the stream right there. I'll be talking to Uncle John right here, and we'll be talking about what we see.
Yeah. And if you don't want that, then here's the question. Don't watch it. Yeah. If you if you have a problem with latency, don't watch it, for God's sake, and don't whine about it to me.
Yeah, but the thing is you would be watching it too. So if you would open up two browsers. I don't know if you can do it on your phone. One browser is your pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And one browser is us, and we're just all chatting. But I mean, I will tell you this. The chat on the pay-per-view is going to be going so fast. If there is a chat, it's not YouTube, right? So I don't even know if we can
or sports thing. I don't know if there will be a chat with it or not.
Yeah, so there may not be a live chat. One, we don't even know that. So that would be a reason why you do the live stream, so we can all be here in one spot and chat about it. But two, when you get that many people watching a live chat, it becomes difficult to follow. Like
you can't really follow.
Yeah. So if you want to chime in with Mr. Uncle John and with the Uncle Maniacs and Gary Robertson, ARMTV Nation. So is there a Devon Larratt troll? Because a couple times I've seen Devon
Yeah,
Larratt's
it's
name.
not. It's not the real Devon Larratt.
It's a fake Devon. I don't like that.
It's too
Gets
close.
my hopes up.
It's not really funny.
Yeah.
Matt Tickle My Limits Larratt, $4.99 super chat. He says, appreciate y'all. You both are super important to the arm wrestling community, and thanks for the content. Well, thank you, Matt Tickle My Limits Larratt. And just to introduce here, this familiar face coming on in, the champion professional super chatter himself, the one and only Daniel Urich. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. You know, being professional super chatter, he's living the high life. You know, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. Hey, man, there's something to this professional super chatting. You are supporting directly to, you know, people who love the sport of arm wrestling and are trying to do good things. Uncle John, I can't see you. What do we got to do?
Oh, you just got to maybe swipe.
Hey, I got some bad news. I told my wife I'd only be on an hour. Do you mind taking over the show?
I'll take it over.
And you know, if it has to be a shorter show tonight, no problem. We can make up for it on the watch party, or I'm going to see you on Thursday as well. So,
beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Got to go get my kiddo to bed.
All right.
Daniel. See you, Gary.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel, what part of town are you?
I'm just south of Chehalis, Washington by 20 minutes.
Okay. Because I'm going to be hosting ROTN in the Northwest sometime during the summer. I'd love for you to come
let me
down.
know, because I was going to get another TTAL tournament, and if you're wanting to come around sometime in the summer, we'll just maybe do something with your ROTN instead. Because Jacob Abbott and those guys are only 3 hours north, and I was trying to get him down here. And I've been talking to Derek Smith. I don't know if he's going to come or not, but I'd like to get those guys in the same room, especially since Derek Smith's his buddy Gage moved up to Everett, and so he's practicing with Jacob Abbott now.
Okay.
And so they want to get together so they can talk. So it'd be
all right.
cool
I'll be chatting with you guys. Hey, everyone on the chat, thank you guys very much. Uncle John, I love you, man.
All right, buddy. Enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
All right, we got a super chat from Eric Racine. He says, I'm staking $6.99 on this show in the hopes that I'll get $13.98 in entertainment value. Ooh, that's some shrewd staking there, Eric. I don't know. I'll do my best now that Gary is out of here. But hey, if anybody else wants to join the chat now, I'm gonna roll the dice. We'll see if anybody wants to come in. I know Ryan Espy said he might come in a little bit later. And cool. We'll kind of go from there. Well, Mr. Urich, let's tell me a little bit about your thoughts on Devon Larratt versus Michael Todd, since you were up close and personal with Michael Todd in the last couple months here.
Yeah, and oh man, it's seeing Devon's video with him doing the Britney Spears shaving his freaking hair, talking about
badass, huh?
That's when I was like, boy. But I will tell you too, I talked to Michael on, I think it was Thursday before he left for Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in a whole nother mental state too. Like he didn't even really want to joke around with me. Like normally he's laughing, making fun of me and make fun of him back, you know. Not this time. He was like, hey Dan, whatever, you know, maybe do some staking. Cool. I gotta get in the hot tub. I was like, awesome. Good talking to you, I guess. Yeah. He's like, yeah, bye. And I was like, wow, he's never done that before. He was that was right before he left for Dubai though, because they missed their flight on Thursday, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty focused. He was on a mission in his mind, trying to relax and everything, you know. But and then I was gonna weigh in on that watch party thing, and I 100% agree with because we were talking about this on Discord. Which, by the way, guys, if you get bored, whatever, Derek's on Discord with us like every night. We're video chatting like this, just BS and having a good time. And Mazel, I don't know if you have the link or not, but it's pretty fun. We usually go in there and hang out. There's grippers in there. I'm the only timber faller, obviously. Bunch of arm wrestling, we talk and everything. But they said something about getting a stream going to do like a watch party. And then Derek made a really good point. He's like, no, you can't really do that. It's going to be illegal. I'm not letting it happen on my page. And we were talking about having like a group of guys who actually bought it, and our phones aren't going to be pointed at the TV. We got a group of guys that are going to be all over the country, just filming our practice while we're watching it, which is pretty cool. You know?
Yeah, I'm all for like I think it's so good, especially now that like, because I remember back in like when I first started 2010 to 2012, we would go and we would do our practices around when the events were happening. So I remember last time Todd Hutchings went against Zoloev, we had a big practice, and it was around that, and we all went in and watched it, and it's a great thing. But we can't necessarily, I can't do that right now because I can't hang out with anybody because of restrictions and whatnot. But all right, we've got somebody else coming to the chat. We'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. Come on in. You got to have video, brother. Bonte.
Just roll the dice.
Bonte, you need video.
I'll turn on my video. Give me 1 second here.
All right.
We can hear you. Yep.
We can hear you. And you didn't say anything bad yet, so that's a good sign. We'll see if we can make it happen.
Did you find out if that was for sure Artem? Oh my God.
I don't think it was Artem. I really don't think it was Artem.
That was hilarious. No, let's see what this watch party happens though. Because last time I had a watch party was the Travis and Michael thing, so I had sour taste. I'll try it one more time. Try it one more time.
I'm assuming we'll get a little bit more out of it this time around than we did for that one. That was pretty ultra troll.
One thing I don't know about the staking though is I wonder how much they get, the percentage wise, because I did look it up because Derek was asking about it last night, and so I got on my phone to do the staking, and Michael sold out, so you can't bet on him. And I just put $10 in there just to see what happened, and it was $18 return, and I was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
Is that good? Is that like, do you do regular betting ever at all?
I don't ever. So to me, it's good. I don't bet ever. Like I don't buy scratch tickets, nothing. I'm not that type of person. Besides, unless I'm betting with my life, I don't bet with any. But I put in $300. It was 545 back, and I was like, "Holy cow!" And so there's some people. It sounds like they put in thousands of dollars.
So Michael's is tapped out, but if Devon catches back up, will another Michael brick open up if Devon catches back up to him?
I don't know how that would work. I would think that if Devon happened to catch in the next 2.5 days or whatever it is, 3 days, if he was able to catch Michael, I don't know if that's just stopping there or if he'll have his guy put up in 2 more blocks for both of them. But I think because Devon's only got 1 block right now, Michael has 2 because they put up another block for him, right? And then he sold out the second block. That's the way I understood it. So I don't know. It'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
It's just cool because that means on top of their payday, which is pretty significant, and even if they lose, they get pretty good payday. And then on top of that, they get, I think they're getting a share of the pay-per-view now. At first, Michael said he didn't think he was, and it wasn't in the contract, but I would imagine people brought light to it so much that I'm sure that they're getting a piece of that. And now you got the staking. So now these guys can make some serious money. It's pretty cool. And it's anybody with a super match.
So Bonte, there you are. Can you turn your sound on?
Yeah. How's it going, everybody?
Hey, Bonte, look at this guy. I like this. Coming in, looking all authentic. I love it. What's your deal, man? Where are you from?
Well, I'm American, but I'm in the UK right now, and I am a Buddhist monk, and I got into arm wrestling from the WAL stuff, and just kind of fell down the rabbit hole and fell in love with Devon and the whole thing. So I'm really looking forward to this upcoming match. So very exciting stuff.
So as a Buddhist monk, like, do you get your buddies into this too? Is there like a whole, like, will there be like a watch?
That's
party?
right. So I just got back from Myanmar in February from Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
And I only, got into the arm wrestling kick the past year or something, year and a half. I think a lot of people are in that boat. So when I was over in Myanmar and Burma, I was arm wrestling every guy I could come across. And technically, I'm undefeated in Myanmar, in Burma. But the diet over there is a lot different than a Western diet. So the people are built smaller and they've got, less overall muscle. So I'm not a good arm wrestler in any other place, but in Myanmar, especially among monks, I'm number one as far as I know.
That's amazing. This is the first time I've ever even talked to a monk such as yourself. So, well, that's very good. We now have data on monks who are into arm wrestling. Excellent.
I didn't think that was a thing.
So awesome. when did you get into it? When did this start? Are you still relatively new to the sport, or?
Oh, I guess people arm wrestle in school and stuff. I'm 28,
Yeah.
so like when I was in middle school and high school, people arm wrestle. But no, I just the past year or 2 years, I came across the WAL with
Mhm.
Devon in particular, and I just thought it's very charismatic and funny and intense as well. So I've seen all the WAL stuff and a lot of different things on YouTube and the Arm Wars. I've just kind of caught up with all that stuff through YouTube and found it so interesting.
Nice. So who are your picks? Are you familiar with the other matches that are going on as well? Do you have picks for everyone?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the matches. I guess I would have Schoolboy as most people do, and for Devon Larratt and Michael Todd, it's got to be Devon, and I'm hoping that he can tap into his spiritual side, and really blow this out of the water and crack it. Crack that egg.
And that's not just because you have the same haircut now, right?
It's competition, so when you go in there, you should be ready to crack the egg. And I'm just kind of hoping that Devon's gonna do that for the world. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Vontae. Happy to have met you. We got Kibby Sports coming in. He's connected up with video. How you doing, Kibby?
Hi. I'm good.
Good. All right. Tell us the story. What's the story of this match? And can you tell me something more about the guy who's pulling Coach Ray?
So yeah, like Larry Wheels is good, and he is doing really great. And I've seen every his practice session, and he's doing really great. And he's really hardworking guy. He's into every strength sport, like powerlifting, strongman, bodybuilding, and
Sure.
like he's just amazing. And like he wants to conquer every strength game, and that is what good about him. Yeah, and I'm supporting him, and like let's see what happens.
So why do you think Larry? What gives Larry a better chance over Schoolboy compared to the last time that they pulled?
Like Larry have insane strength. Like he like I feel like he still have many things to learn and many things to explore. Like he's not trying many stuffs yet, but he's getting mature more and more into the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am a Delhi-based arm wrestler. I recently competed in Indian arm wrestling, and I won bronze. And we KB Sports, we are a sports company, and we support athletes, new athletes, young athletes to get sponsorship, brand sponsorship. Yeah,
Nice.
and
So how long have you been in arm wrestling?
Like it's been 4 years.
4 years. Nice.
Yeah.
And so then what's your opinion on Michael and Devon? You've been around long enough to have seen a lot of their stuff. Who's going to win?
After today's ref session, I thought that like Michael is like a little bit nervous about the King's move and thing. And yeah, you can see it in his face. And like Devon is little bit comfort with his stuff, and he is pretty much confident what he wants to do and what he needs to do to win, and he's ready.
Nice.
Yeah.
So where do you live, Kibi?
Yeah, I live in India, in New Delhi.
And what's so I always hear so much about India and that it has a really big population of arm wrestlers and is growing. Is that true?
Yeah, it is growing. It is growing very, very fast. Yeah.
So are you guys holding like tournaments all the time now, or are you still locked down with COVID stuff?
Yeah. There is one company which came out to promote arm wrestling in India. It is Pro Punjali. It's like a good money making league, and it's getting more money to this sport, and it is helping out the old athletes, old arm wrestlers, and new arm wrestlers who want to join this community, arm wrestling community, and it is it's really helping them out.
Yeah. Nice. Well, that's great to hear, man. So did you give us a final word? What do you think? Who's going to win? Is it going to be Devon? Are you team Devon or are you team Michael?
Yeah, like they both are really good. They both are like athletes, and they both are legend, and like in their different things. like, but I will support Devon, and like I'm not sure about Larry and Schoolboy. I'm not sure about the match, but I support Devon. Yeah.
You're supporting Devon. Very good.
Yeah.
So here's the other match that we haven't talked about yet, but people are starting to talk about it. It's Levin versus Dave Chafee, right?
Yeah. I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Daniel, are you following along with PAL at all with Dave and Levin?
Yeah, but and that's 100% set in stone for sure now.
Well, they've got the promos out for it. They got the promo.
Oh,
picture.
I haven't seen the promo picture yet. I've been following it. Yes, though.
Set a date.
I want to see that.
They haven't set a date, but they've announced that it is happening at some point this year.
Oh man, that's gonna be great. I got Dave Chafee.
You got Dave. Kibby, who are you taking in that one?
Yeah, I am in full support with like what Daniel says. He's right.
Yeah, you're going for Dave as well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great match. I think that if anybody can do it under PAL rules, the strict rules, I think it's going to be Dave Chafee, 100%. He can do it. The question will be, what kind of condition is he in right now? What kind of condition is Levin in? And where
that was my next question, John. Do you know what kind of condition he's in right now? Like, because he doesn't have much of a social media presence, really. So,
right.
like, is he just kind of hanging out at idle, or is he like been hitting it super, super hard the whole time quietly?
So I don't know. Like, I don't know Dave. I don't have a personal friendship with Dave. But here's what I do know about Dave. Anytime I've ever seen him for any reason at any time, he looks to be the strongest human I've ever laid my eyes on. Right? Yeah. He never looks like he's out of shape. He only looks like he's bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And he just, you know, he's all the time getting better and better. So the question is, you know, he's had a lot of neck issues in the past. So that's been maybe something that's worked against him. So I don't really know, but once they announced that it's really for sure going to happen, I definitely got more excited for that particular match for sure. So guys in the chat, we're kind of coming to a point where we're just kind of talking. It looks like Matthias Bedard is in here. He's kind of the staking. Matthias, if you want to come on, I would love to have you on if you want to talk about staking. Because I know you're like the guy, right? You're the guy. So if you want to come on and talk about that and set everything straight, that would be absolutely wonderful. All right. So are you guys both, are you staying up late for the pay-per-view, Kibby? Or what time is it? Yeah.
And like, I also wanted to see Khalid. Yeah, he is also a young talent and he have something. Yeah.
Well, so it sounded to me, there was a video that Coach Ray and Devon were on. I don't know if it was a Devon video or a Coach Ray video, but Coach Ray was saying that Khaled is kind of out of arm wrestling now. He's really put himself more towards the MMA type of stuff, and he's dedicated to that. So I don't know if that will happen. I mean, obviously Khaled is like extremely strong. One of, you know, just has a supernatural talent.
From what Michael said though, was if there was more money in arm wrestling, he would do it. He's got a lot of kids. Yeah. If I understand right, I think it was like 10 or something. And so Michael said he's very interested in arm wrestling, but the money's in the MMA and he's got to support his family. So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
If there was a lot more money in it, I'm sure you would see a switch. I mean, he's a freak. I just watched a video. Man, who sent me that? He went to the grip dungeon or whatever they call that.
Yeah,
they were doing all the grip. Oh man, I never seen that video before. And it was funny though. Everything. Only Brian Shaw's ever did this, and he goes. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
he's a freak.
He's a fairly insane human. There's no doubt about that. Okay, all right. So we're going to have Matthias Bedard come on here. We'll get this man in so he can speak to us about the staking process. See if we can get him in here. Come on down. Have you guys made Kibby? Did you bet? Did you put a stake in?
No, not yet. Not yet. Like,
how you guys doing?
Okay.
Doing great. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Matthias Bedard. Is it Bedard? Is that how you say it?
That's Bedard. Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Matthias, but you are kind of at least behind some aspect of this staking phenomenon that we have come to learn of.
Yeah, so it's been something we've been working on for a while. Like pretty much the entire Armbet team is involved in it. But yeah, we've been working on this for probably the last like 2-3 months, trying to get all our ducks in order and get the whole agreement set up. I don't know how much I'm allowed to actually say about it, but
sure.
Yeah, no, I've definitely been involved in the whole thing. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, can you kind of, I know that there's like the how-to video that's on the website, and that's very good, but can you kind of give us the pitch for like, okay, this is what staking is, this is how you do it, this is kind of what we hope it's going to be down the line?
Yeah, so I don't know again how much I'm allowed to say with what we're gonna do with it.
Right.
But like we're gonna have every event that's coming up that we can get involved in. We'll kind of involve it in the platform, and eventually it'll all be embedded within Armbet. So like right now, like we're partnered with Stake Kings, right? So that partnership's not going anywhere. But right now we're gonna have to leave the Armbet website in order to do it. That's not gonna be like that. We're working on like this crazy full integration in the background. It's gonna be way more awesome once we get to that point. But yeah, the really cool thing about it is part of the money goes to the athlete, right?
Yeah.
But because of that, the odds aren't as great as you would if it was like actual betting, right?
Right.
Because of the way the money has to be transferred. Because the way to look at it would be like the athletes themselves have either like an entry fee or kind of, something that they're wagering, and then everyone else can kind of get involved in that process, right? So you're never really going to get much more than like 1-to-1 odds and repayment. But, again, it's legal everywhere as of right now, which is super awesome.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm just so excited from the athlete perspective, right? Because it is a completely new way that arm wrestlers can get paid, which has always been one of our major issues, right?
Yeah, it's super cool. It's super cool.
Yeah. So so if there's somebody like me who's like, I'm a non-betting person, I literally don't know what it means. The odds are, and I'm like, okay, that's numbers, that's nice. What is a good way to kind of think about staking? So
staking, it doesn't use the conventional odds. Like when you're betting, usually you see the odds would be like 100 plus or like minus 100, right? So everything on the minus side is what you would have to bet to get $100, and everything on the plus side is what you're betting to get that amount, right? So in a conventional sports book, if you see an athlete is at let's say 250 or plus 250, that means if you bet $100, you get 250 back, right? And if somebody's like, let's say minus 250, that means you would have to bet 250 in order to get 100, right? So that's kind of how your conventional sports book works. With staking, it's usually it's a markup. So essentially, very rarely will there be like a negative markup. It would always be kind of a bit of a positive, right? So if the markup's like $5, for example, if you bet like $105, you get $100 back, sort of deal.
Right.
So it's a little different. We're actually working on some like legalese to kind of explain it better with using all the right terminology. So hopefully in the next little bit or the next version of this, we'll have a better explanation of how the whole process kind of works.
Gotcha. So one of the big questions that's been coming up is the idea of there's like blocks of available stakes. So can you explain to me kind of how that works? And is there a true limit, or will it always continue to open up new blocks if the two competitors are close enough?
Yeah. So the way that we have the staking set up right now is both athletes have to raise the same amount of money to be even, right? So let's say the stake limit is like $1,000, right? If one athlete reaches at 1,000, we have to wait for the other athlete to catch up, and then we can open up a new block for them.
Nice.
Yeah. And because sometimes somebody might be a way higher favorite, the markup on them will be a little bit more, right? So your return will be a little bit less if they win. But yeah, so and again, I would love to talk about the way the money's split. So hopefully once this is all done, I can openly speak about that, but I don't think I'm allowed to right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, but that actually clears up a lot of the questions that I had coming in, just because it's all so foreign to me, but it's so good. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you know, unless you have like a total religious non-betting thing going on in your life, like this does benefit the athlete in a significant way.
Yeah.
So I think and the fact that like you can just work your way up, and I'm sure there will be rules on how to get in and how to get all that stuff set up and blah, blah, blah. But as a competitor, that is probably the thing that makes me most excited by far.
Yeah, it's so cool. And we have a couple models that we've talked about that might even be more beneficial to the athletes than right now as well. It's just a matter of us trying to figure out you know, the legal side of things and making sure that we're not crossing that line. So it stays staking. So it's not going to be sports betting. At some point we might do the actual sports betting as well, but because we're kind of interested in the athlete getting a cut of it, this is kind of the route that we're going to go as of right now anyways.
Does that only work on the professional scale, like guys like Michael and Devon, or is it like somebody that's like local that has kind of a huge following on Armbet could potentially make something happen?
Yeah, no, for sure.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into the full detail on what we'll roll out, but essentially once we have our kind of version embedded in the platform, we'll slowly make it available to more and more people. And the end goal is to have anybody who's, you know, having an arm wrestling match be able to set up the staking for them.
You hear that, Mazel? We're going to get paid to have a super match.
Yeah. So Matthias, go ahead. Go ahead.
Matthias, there is one thing that I want to suggest you. You can have a look into it. And we have one unicorn, like sports betting unicorn application in India. It's Dream 11. So it's involved in all sorts of sports betting, not just like arm wrestling. They haven't involved arm wrestling yet, but they have involved multiple sports. So you can check out their algorithm, what they are using.
What are they called?
Help you out. Dream 11.
Dream 11?
Yeah.
Let me look those guys up.
So I guess one of the things that a few people have talked about online that I've seen on Facebook, people that are like, well, betting is so much better. Betting is so much better. And obviously you're going to get better odds because this is something different. But correct me if I'm wrong, but this kind of betting is like real betting is full of legal issues. Yeah.
So first of all, like what we're doing now, it's not betting, it's staking, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of differences between the two, right? So with actual betting, the pros is if you win, right, in a real sports book and you're betting on the underdog, you have the opportunity to win a lot of money, right? The problem is the sports books guys are smart, right? So when they set the sports books up, the house wins the most of the money, right? When somebody is like a plus 700, very rarely does that guy ever actually win, right? So all the people that are betting on him, the sports book, they keep like most of that money. And then because the other person, let's say they were like a minus 350, they get almost no return, right? So because we're not actually keeping that huge piece of the pie, that's why we're able to distribute it back to the athlete. But because of that, you're never going to get the crazy negative odds and you're never going to get the crazy positive odds. It'll always be closer to the middle, right?
Yeah.
So if you're super, super into like sports betting and you love betting on like the underdog and just, you know, hoping that you're going to cash out on that mega jackpot, the way we're doing it right now, it's not going to work that way, right?
So you won't lose. I mean, you won't win super big, but you also don't lose super big. I actually think that's a little good.
Yeah. So it's more, I think it's more accessible, right? And I think once we explain it better and we start to roll it out more kind of unified with the Armbet app, I think it's going to be a lot more transparent than you'll see a conventional sports book be.
Amazing. Oh my God, it's so good.
It is pretty cool. But one thing I got to say though, I got to throw this out. we need to fill Larry Wheel's stake. So anybody who thinks that Larry's gonna win, you guys got to go on there and support your man.
So Schoolboy is leading at this point.
He sold out, I think.
Oh, yeah.
As last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, people were loving Schoolboy. Yeah, and Michael Todd too. Michael Todd's selling out like crazy.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Like
Yeah.
Devon is like the fan favorite, but when it comes to people putting money where their mouth is, Michael seems to be dominating.
It honestly though, it might just be his grandmother just putting that retirement money down, just trying to double up, right?
That is very, very true.
Yeah.
So, Matthias, you've been hanging out with Devon quite a bit, and I've seen you do some interviews with him. What are your thoughts about, the match that's coming up, the whole situation? Do you have any predictions? What are your feelings?
Obviously, I got to be Team Devon, right?
Right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be close. But I think if I had to put money down on exactly how it's going to go down, I see Devon winning probably 4-2.
4-2. That's my prediction as well.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I don't know squat about arm wrestling, right? So I'm super new still. So I'm just talking out of my butt.
So when because you kind of live near Devon, correct?
Yeah.
So did you just kind of happen upon this guy and you're like, oh, I do like computer stuff, and then you started helping him that way? Is that how it happened?
It was kind of slow. Like, so essentially what happened was I was up super late one night, and I don't know what I was looking at, but somehow I came, the YouTube algorithm supported or pushed me a Devon video talking about Armbet. And I had recently been working with a startup. Well, I started a startup. It's called swap.com with a buddy of mine. We're pretty much done with it now.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially what it was a location-based like bartering platform. And we were doing a lot of like geolocation stuff. So when I saw the video of Devon talking about Armbet, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, there's a lot of crossover with the stuff that I was working on before. So I decided to go, join the beta.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a link to install it. I set it up like I think the following night, and I created my account. And all of a sudden I get a message from Devon, and he's like, dude, who the hell are you? And I was like, what? Is it Devon messaging me? I was like, that's interesting. So I responded to him, and we chatted. And he's asked me if I was interested in doing some arm wrestling, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm definitely down with that. So we did a little bit of that, and he kind of introduced me to the local guys here, and he was talking about Armbet and what he's trying to do. And I was like, well, if you need help with anything, like this is kind of what I do. Like I run teams, and I would develop myself as well. So yeah, I can help you guys out. And then I just slowly started helping out more and more. And then, here we are today, I guess.
Here we are today. Yeah. Well, thank you, Matthias, for being a part of the team, because, man, I was so skeptical about like, it's Armbet. And I'm like, it's a pipe dream. Years down the road, maybe we'll see betting. And then here is a version of something that's going to work, something that is legal in most of the world, and something that obviously people want to use because it seems to be very, very popular thus far.
Yeah, it seems to be working out great. And originally all the betting and the putting money down into the matches, it was in the milestones, but it was way further down the line. And we just kind of happened to come across a couple of opportunities that allowed us to fast track that part of it by partnering with another company. And, it just kind of made sense. It's like, yeah, we're not building it from scratch now, which is great. Mm-hmm. Right. But obviously because of that, some of the money goes into their pocket, but at the end of the day, that's fine. As long as we're able to kind of get it out in a nice, clean fashion, and we're not screwing things up, and all the money's being distributed in a fair way, I'm okay with that. And I think Devon is as well too. Like if it was up to Devon, Armbet wouldn't collect any money. We just give all the money away.
Right. That's it. Yeah. No, I think it's going to be really good moving forward. And I just hope it all. I wish everybody involved the best of luck, because I really do believe, as someone who's been arm wrestling for a significant amount of time, this is a different way. This is something different that we haven't tried before, and it's something that can benefit both sides of the coin. Right? It benefits the arm wrestlers. And if people want to have fun doing some staking, they can choose to do that. And then the rest of everyone can just whine about it because it seems to be what they're generally good at. So
Yeah, there have been a couple of legitimate complaints, right? So
Yeah.
one of them being within certain countries.
Mhm.
I guess there are some issues with the payment gateways where the fees are a little bit higher.
Oh, okay.
So I'm actually looking into that, and I'm trying to see what we can do in the future to kind of address that issue. But yeah, unfortunately, they're running in North America, right? So it's a little bit more favorable to put money in and out of the system in North America. But honestly, I think that as we grow and the international interest grows, I feel like it just makes sense to kind of address those problems, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the other thing, I guess, for people to remember. This is the launch, right?
It's version 1.
It's version 1.0. So
and how impressive too. Like I literally just heard about this last week that it was actually out and happening, and then look at how much it blew up in like 2 days. Blocks were getting sold out. I'm like, holy cow, this is huge. This is going to be ginormous.
Knock on wood, things have gone way smoother than I was expecting them to. So it's great. Yeah. And the guys at Stake Things they're amazing too. Their support's great. So if anybody ever has any issues with the whole system or whatever, use their support. Their guys are fantastic. Everybody that I've sent to their support has come back like super happy about how it was handled. So this is how fast it was though. I literally was working, so I wasn't on here like I normally am. And Michael messaged me and he said, hey, get on Armbet.net and bet on me. And I was like, okay, cool. And I clicked on it, he was sold out. I'm like, I can't bet on you, man. You're sold out. Yeah, he sold out like way faster than we thought. Yeah. I think everybody's kind of impressed with whatever Michael said in his video when he was promoting he did all right.
It worked.
He said the right things. Yeah.
We got Canadian Chihuahua with a $5 super chat. He says, shout out to Matthias. I used to train with you at ROTN BJJ. Congrats on the Armbet staking rollout.
Oh, snap. Who said that?
Canadian Chihuahua. I don't know.
I'll have to figure out who that is.
Yeah. Kimmy, do you had a question?
Yeah, it's really amazing what is happening in Armbet. Athletes are getting funded and fans are getting rewarded by like following the sport and joining the sports community, like arm wrestling community. It's an amazing thing. Like I myself use Armbet and it's really amazing. It's like we are having a sports community here, like arm wrestling community here, and we used to practice. So we have a small community and it's really getting bigger and bigger. Like a lot of people are joining in. Yeah. That's great.
That's great. I know we got Evan Burgoyne in the chat. Evan, if you want to come on, I don't know what your state of mind is right now, but if you want to come on,
come have a beer, Evan.
Well, we'll let you in. We'll let you in.
I mean, Diet 7-Up's what that is.
Yeah, right. I already drank all mine. I'm disappointed now. But
you gotta do what I do. I just put fridges everywhere.
There you go. Matthias, thank you so much for coming on and being
no problem.
Literally, you answered pretty much all my questions in like 5 minutes, so that was really good. I am just naturally, whenever it comes to like betting or anything related to it, I know it's staking. I'm just automatically, I'm like, I don't know. But
I'm the same way, to be honest with you.
It seems fairly straightforward to me. I'm sure there's going to be some issues here and there and everywhere. But man, I like it. Chance Shaw's in the chat as well. Chance Shaw, I've got some questions for you too, buddy.
What
up, you want to jump on? Come on down on the show.
Matthias, are you on LinkedIn?
Oh, what's that?
Matthias, are you on LinkedIn?
Oh yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. So like I'm also having a sports community and I want to talk about something.
Yeah, sure. Message me there or message me on Instagram. That's probably the easiest ways to get a hold of me. Yeah. And I just got to throw this out. For whatever reason, I've been getting tons of like Facebook invites the last little bit. Honestly, unfortunately, guys, like my Facebook is very private. I don't usually have people on there that I don't actually know in real life. So honestly, feel free to reach out to me through any other way though.
Nice. Fair enough. And you do have a YouTube channel as well, correct?
Yeah.
So check the man out on YouTube. So you guys, you more than welcome to hang out, but I think we're going to be transferring this business over to a little bit of what we call the Evan Burgoyne Show. Joining us right now, one of the most infamous Ontario pullers of all time, Mr. Evan Burgoyne. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Uncle John? How you been?
You know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling this is the week. This is the week. Been waiting.
We're getting close. We're getting close.
Are you excited, or are you like, Jesus Christ, just get it done?
Yeah, man. There's been a lot of buildup for a long time for this match.
Yeah.
Like, you almost get sick of talking about it, but you still want to see it, so you still talk about it.
Yeah.
So what do you do? I can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. Devon is fucking enormous.
Dude. He's so big.
Dude, I wasn't saying anything to anybody about how big he is because he wanted to just show up in Dubai and have Mike look at him and be like, you're not 250. No. But yeah, that dude is huge.
Oh my goodness. So have you pulled with Devon recently, like in the last couple months before he kind of slowed everything down?
Yeah. I was working out really hard just to keep myself as strong as possible, even though I got nothing going on for me, just to kind of help Devon get a little bit more out of the training session.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I was probably training with him 2-3 times a week for a few weeks at like the peak of his training.
Yeah.
And then he took like a really, really long taper.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what he was telling me when I interviewed him last week, is that he's like, look, my number one goal is to walk into this match without any problems, right? No aches, no pains, nothing tweaking in the elbows. And it sounds like he's there. It sounds like he accomplished that.
Yeah. He's so big and so strong. And I just don't see how Mike is going to be able to do this. Like, if you look at the match analytically from the last time when they pulled at the WAL, there's no way it's going to go the same way. Like, Devon lost his hand basically immediately.
Right.
So he's bigger and stronger now. But even though Devon lost his hand in round 1, he kept fighting to get it back and fighting to get it back and wasting a bunch of energy, realized there's no way I'm getting my hand back, and said, fuck it, and just dumped his hand and pushed right through from a really, really low spot. So he was still strong enough to push through from way out of position.
Right.
With how much bigger and stronger he is now, he could push through from anywhere. Like,
well, this is the thing, right? Now, all right. So let me ask you this. When it come, did you watch the new rules video that came out today?
It came out today? No, I haven't seen it yet.
So they were talking a lot about the difference between running fouls and stoppage fouls, and it will be a foul one way or the other when they go into a king's move in a neutral or losing position. Okay, it may be a running foul, it may be a match stoppage. Do you think the king's move is going to be a big factor in this match?
I don't see the fouls on the king's move being a big factor in the match.
Okay,
Mike doesn't drop low enough anymore. Like, that calcified bone of Michael Todd, it doesn't have to become that negative angle anymore.
Right.
He's still standing up and just leans back with it.
And that's what we saw versus Jerry, right?
Right, but even in the WAL, where you're allowed to go right down. Now, he did a couple of times in a few matches, but the majority of it, he's staying well above. I think the pads being not having that extra 2 inches from him to run, he might have to get a little lower because he can't just keep running back anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe, but I don't think so. I think if he ever gets low enough where he's going to start dipping the shoulder below the elbow and start declining the humerus, I think Devon's just going to be too strong. He'll just press from anywhere. As soon as Mike gets that low, Devon should just jump on it, which is why he has to have at least 1 foot on the floor. So he can't just jump on it.
Right, right.
And Mike will have to stand up. So I don't think the King's move rules are going to be as much of a play in the match as the intentional slips will.
Yeah, that's the other interesting thing. Now, in the video today, Bill really made it clear that there's only 3 ways that you can
the WAF, CAWF, it's always the same 3 ways. Balling up, coming under the palm, or opening your hand.
Yeah.
And it's really, really tough to call any one of those unless somebody's just being blatant. Like if it's on go, if you want straps and you just hit with your shoulder forward and not just slap the table, you're going to get straps.
Yeah.
Like you're going to flop, but you're not doing it as to pull your hand through their palm. You're trying to put your shoulder onto them and pin them. You're going to get straps. That we've all arm wrestled enough. Well, I don't know about some of the newer guys, but me and you have for sure. Yeah. If you want straps, you're getting straps. There's like 2 or 3 guys I've ever arm wrestled with that I have a hard time getting the straps with.
Yeah.
You know,
this is the same argument I've made with Gary a million times. If you are an accomplished arm wrestler, you know how to get to the straps when you want to get to them. And the person who wants the straps, generally speaking, 99% of the time, is the one that can make that decision, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you don't really need to be that accomplished of an arm wrestler. I mean,
well, that's true too.
There's a clear difference between like that amateur, and I don't want to call it a pro, but an open status puller. And basically, here's how I view that difference. As soon as you realize that those refs are there to make you guys have the match fair and not to stop you from doing what you're doing, you can basically just do whatever the fuck you want. You give them a little bit here and there, and they'll just say go at some point. So you just try to keep control of everything as much as you can until they say go. Mm-hmm. And that's why the pros get so much harder to set up than the amateurs. You set up 2 amateurs when you're reffing, and you just tell them to close their hand. If one guy's not listening, you look at him, you tell him to turn it around, and he just does it. That's the difference between a pro and an amateur. When I tell that pro, turn your shoulders around, they won't do it.
Right. Or they will, and then they won't.
They will, but then they're going to carve their hand under while they straighten their shoulders. So now I go back to their hands while their shoulders start carving forward again. And eventually the ref just gets tired of dealing with all this nonsense, says, fuck it, and yells go.
Yeah. So speaking of the ref, Bill Collins is the man. Bless his soul and Godspeed to him. How difficult of a job does Bill Collins have on Friday?
I would have need to get paid more than either of the athletes to go do Bill's job. No, seriously.
I agree.
Reffing's kind of fun. I like doing it. I love arm wrestling in all angles of the sport. But I always go down and I ref Eric Rasan's tournaments in Ottawa for him. And there's a couple of tournaments that I usually ref at. But Eric's in particular, Devon pulls that sometimes.
Yeah.
Try to set up Devon and Brendan. You can't.
This doesn't happen.
And the 2 of them are so bad together. I can't foul either one of them out because I don't have an hour to ref this match. Someone's going to get a foul if you guys keep fucking around.
Yeah.
And they're doing it through ref script, but they're both doing it so bad. Like, I think I had to call like 12 coincidental fouls. It's like, seriously, as soon as one of you motherfuckers moves and the other one holds still, that's a win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're so bad. But that's just how arm wrestling works. Like the way that Bill described it using the speed limit analogy. Do you hear that?
Mm-mm.
So right now, when you're driving down the road and the speed limit's 90, how fast do you go?
Or 95.
95, 100, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
120.
Why? Because that's what actually the speed limit is. Because if you're doing 100 and there's a cop there, he's not pulling you over. So is the speed limit actually 90 or is it 100? Because you're allowed to do 100. Right. So, and then it just keeps going like that. And if you're not getting pulled over at 140, well, the speed limit's 140 then. So all of the hate that like Devon in particular gets a lot of hate for being so hard on the refs and just not listening because he wants to fight.
Yeah.
It's all he's doing is showing that is what the rules are. I'm allowed to do this because I've never been fouled out of a match.
Right. That's it. And that's, oh my God. I just, good luck, Bill. I wish you the best, man. It's going to be
I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem.
You don't think it's going to be that big of a problem?
I really don't. Well, Bill is super good at what he does. And the way that these rules are set up, it's not set up like the WAL. So if you watch Devon fighting in every other league, when he was fighting people in the PAL or Arm Wars, he was never as bad as he was in the WAL.
Right.
For a reason. That's a different highway with a different speed limit. You can't do that shit there. But you can do it here. So why would you not do it? If you're not doing it, are you really putting forth your best effort?
Well, it will be very, very interesting to see what kind of law Bill lays down in the first match, right? If Bill is like boom, 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 and there's some fouls that are given out early, really quick, that could change the way they are approaching things.
That would definitely set a completely new tempo for the match and possibly change the entire outcome of it. I don't think that's what's going to happen, though. Just stylistically, the way they arm wrestle, I'm pretty sure Devon's going to come in and he's going to want to dominate the high spot. He's got a longer arm and like he's been working his everything like crazy. If he can dominate that high spot, I'm sure that's what he's going to go for. It's the easiest way around a King's move.
Yeah.
So, but Mike doesn't care too much about that high spot as long as he gets that strap on.
Right.
So they tend to set up fairly easily together because Mike doesn't care about what Devon wants. And as long as Devon gets what he's looking for, he doesn't give a shit about what else he has to sacrifice. He's got a couple of points that, you know, have priority. And as long as he's got those, what does he care what else you have?
There you have it.
Well, all right, I really think they're going to set up pretty fairly. They're just going to go.
Very interesting. We got a couple super chats, and then we got another sixth man in the chat here. Canadian Chihuahua. He says, "Hey Evan, what do you think of Michael's chances of flash pinning Devon? Is there any chance?" No chance.
No, it's not happening. You think Mike comes shoulder forward harder than Jerry does?
No, I do not.
Did Devon catch Jerry even outside of his own shoulder?
Yes, he did.
Devon is way fucking bigger and stronger than the dude that caught Jerry.
Yes, he is.
So Devon being bigger and stronger and better at catching than everybody else, and Mike not being as strong coming with that shoulder, I just don't see how he could. The only way that Mike is coming straight through shoulder is if he sells to Devon that he's hitting outside hand. So Devon's trying to stand him up and gets caught down.
And then he gets caught. Makes sense. Colligator with a $5 super chat. He says, Matthias is a thumb sapper. I don't even know what that means.
Ah, you say Colligator?
Yeah.
Oh, Sean. That's Sean. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the fastest rising stars in North America. He was lined up for probably the biggest super match in his life, which is been canceled and broke my heart.
Oh, terrible.
Chance Shaw, how you doing, buddy?
What's up? How's it going?
Doing well. We're just all getting all solidified for Friday. Are you getting wound up yourself?
Oh yeah. This week leading up has got me really excited for it.
Yes. So we've talked kind of a little bit about our thoughts on which way the matches are going to go, and also the rules. Did you see the new rules video?
Yeah, on Larry's channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did watch that.
So the biggest thing, we had a little bit of a discussion on this. By the way, Cobra Road's in the chat. What's up, Cobra? Glad to see you, my friend.
Cobra.
So this whole differential between a running foul and a match stoppage foul, and the fact that the number one distinction between the two is position gained, which puts it basically all on Bill Collins to be able to identify when it is position gained and when it is not position gained. So to start with you, Chance, how difficult is that? You've refereed matches. How difficult is it in a match like this to really figure out all that stuff that's going on that quickly?
I have to agree with Evan. I don't think that it's going to come into play all that much. I mean, we have Bill Collins, probably the most, if not one of the most experienced referees. He's been in this position, not the exact position, but he's refereed high-level matches time and time again. I don't think that he's going to have an issue determining it. I think both Michael and Devon both want wars. Larry wants them to have wars. The fans want it to happen. So I don't expect the fouls to come in to that big of a factor.
Good. Well, that's what I like to hear. I mean, I think we all can agree we want to see the matches go to completion without fouls. And I do agree. Bill Collins is, second to none when it comes to refereeing. He's done it. He's been there. He's done that. He's been a puller, and he's reffed for about 1 million years at this point in time. So if anybody's going to be able to do it, it will be him. So what are your thoughts on the outcome of the match, Chance?
So, like 3 months ago, I picked Michael 3-0, but like as time has progressed and I've seen, as much as I can see from the both of them, their training, their progression, I think that gap is closed. I'd still bet on Michael, but not by very much. Yeah, I think it's going to go to the 7th round.
You think it'll go 7th round?
Yeah.
Evan, do you think it will be a drawn out battle, or do you see this going one way very quickly?
Me?
Yeah.
There's not a scenario that really could surprise me on this. Like, this match is close enough that it can go anywhere. It could go 6-0 for either guy. Like, I don't think it will. I think Devon's got it. Probably 5-1. But it could go 7. It could just go straight 6 for either guy. Like, it's really tough to say, but I know how big and strong Devon is right now. And if he was able to press through last time from a bad spot, like, he can press through from the dad move right now.
Yeah.
Now Mike's probably bigger and stronger than he's ever been. Well, not bigger. He doesn't look that big.
He's smaller now.
Yeah, he's like only like 260 or something, but
I think he's
apparently he's hitting all of these new PRs in his workouts, and he's been working crazy hard. I've seen that.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that it's possible for Mike to have put on the amount of strength difference that Devon has.
That's impressive.
Their last matches.
That's impressive. So we've talked quite a bit about Devon and Michael, and obviously we're going to continue to be doing that over the next few days. But what about maybe more interesting changes are happening in the minds of people when it comes to Schoolboy versus Larry Wheels? Now, generally speaking, everyone I talk to who is an arm wrestler, who's been around the sport for a while, says Schoolboy. It's Schoolboy. Obviously, it's Schoolboy. But we've seen Larry change significantly over the last even few months when he's been working with Coach Ray. He does look more capable on the table. He looks like he knows where he's going. He's not just power, boom, drive. He seems to be tightening a few things up. So Chance, do you agree with that? Have you been watching Larry, and has your opinion, what is your opinion on that match?
I have been watching Larry. Again, if you asked me 3 months ago, 2 months ago even, I would have said Schoolboy with a clean sweep. I do think Larry's closing that gap. Especially since Coach Ray's been working with him. I mean, I saw improvements when Derek was working with him, or when Michael was working with him, but it seems like he made the most gains the last month or two with Coach Ray. I bet on Larry, actually. I think that Larry has the capability of doing it. Schoolboy is great. He has more experience. I'm not sure, really. I mean, I don't think any of us are sure how good Schoolboy truly is. Yes, he has the experience, but I don't know what level of experience he has. I'm sure there are plenty of pullers that have been pulling for 3-4 years that Larry can beat at this point, just depending on the tier of the puller, right? So it's kind of unknown. It's an unknown factor. We don't know where Larry or Schoolboy is, but Larry definitely has the drive, the dedication, the strength, the team around him. And he has nothing to lose, right? Schoolboy has everything to lose here. So I'm excited for the match. I'm almost as excited for that match as Devon and Michael, simply because it brings such a wide audience to the sport.
That was my next thing I was going to talk about, is what would be better you think if Larry wins, that would get his polling on his YouTube channels to be more behind, maybe following afterwards? Do you think that would hurt if he lost it any? Or would you think it would hurt largely by him winning?
I don't think it hurt at all if he lost, but I think it would definitely, he has a lot to gain by winning.
Well, what if his arm breaks? Right? That's going to get a lot of views.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know. I think that'd be terrible. I think that's the only bad scenario, is if Larry broke an arm. Right? Like no bodybuilders or powerlifters or strength athletes would ever want to touch arm wrestling if they saw that.
Yeah.
On that note, I gotta jump out, guys. I gotta go feed the dad bod with some Nutella and peanut butter.
Beautiful. Matthias, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me,
brother.
Stay powerful, guys.
All right. See you later, buddy.
Bye, Matthew.
Evan,
I think.
go ahead, Kibi. Go ahead.
I think one thing that will increase the length of the match, that is like multiple video reviews that you can take after the match. Like you can raise it to go to video reviews and all. So,
yeah, well, this is the question, right? So, Evan, I don't know, you didn't watch the video yet, but they talked a little bit about video review, and they said there would be some kind of video review. Mm-hmm. And the question was, well, how many protests can we make? And it was kind of this in-between thing where it was like, well, we can make as many as we want, but, oh, we probably won't make very many. Do you see that as being an issue of letting them do that, or using video review in general?
So how does that work? Is it the competitor that calls for the video review once it's stopped?
Yeah.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Once a match is stopped, it's really hard to predict anything. I mean, Mike picked up his hammer and tried to walk home.
Yeah.
Like, it's not surprising if that guy tries anything like that. He wants to win a lot.
Yeah. So it's just, for me, the question is, will it be used? Will it be abused? How much is that really going to happen? And I'm not sure we know the answer. And it may change if everything's going very close and tightly. It might not be so bad. If it's one way or the other, it might get wild.
Well, here's my question for the video review. If one guy protests and wants a video review, do they rewatch the entire match, or just that one spot that was under contestation? And if so say there's like Mike's calling, screaming for an elbow foul on Devon that happens 12 seconds into the match.
Yeah.
But Mike's elbow comes off 8 seconds into the match. Does the video review then pick up that first one and call that, or just the one that was being protested? Does Devon have to sit there and watch the screen and say, no, I want to protest that now? So we're just going to have 16 protests to see who gets the first foul?
See, this is the problem with not having tight rules.
Yeah, actually, in the professional matches, they have only one video reviews for, like, it's a best of 3 or something. Like, they have only one video reviews. But now they are having multiple video reviews. So the length of the match will increase, and they will have the time to take rest and calm their hands. So yeah.
But wait, this is what Core Sports has said, or this is what other leagues have done?
Yeah, other leagues used to have only one video reviews. Like, you can protest one time only. Like,
yeah, so I would be interested to know what they end up doing with that, because the way the video ended today, it was very ambiguous, right? There wasn't really anything firmed up that I caught anyways. Maybe there was something that I missed, but it just kind of seemed like, we'll play it by ear, and nobody was really 100% sure on that. Do you guys think that video reviews really change things in general?
They can change a lot of things. Yeah. Anybody that's ever reffed knows that you miss things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how good of a ref you are. I think of myself as a fairly decent ref. And every time I ref a tournament, I know I've either missed calls that I should have gotten, or I was just out of position and didn't see it. Is whenever I'm down in position to watch for the pin and I'm trying to get eye level with that, sometimes there's an arm in the way that's holding onto a peg and I can't see through that. But I'm just watching for the pin. Now I can see that guy's body move as if his elbow just slid off the pad and hit the table and came back up.
Yeah.
But I didn't see his elbow come off. I saw his body move and I know what happened, but I didn't see it, so I can't call it. So now I'm sitting there watching the rest of this match going, fuck, I'm an idiot. I missed that. For sure I did. But what are you going to do? You can't call it if you don't see it, and you can't be everywhere. And something like that a video review is good for. But I think it should be on the ref to decide if we're going to go look at that videotape, and only the section of the match that he was questioning.
So, like, how do we know who the down ref is and how much experience he has? Because that's going to play a huge factor. Just like you said, the head ref can't see every angle.
Is there a down ref?
There is a down ref
in the video.
I know Bill has refed a lot of things just solo.
Yeah, they are going to have a down ref,
but we don't. I don't believe we know who that person is.
Yeah.
So it's
Bart Wood.
Yeah.
Fart good.
Eric Racine says, I think he's referring to video review, but it can open a whole can of worms. And that's kind of what you were saying, Evan. Like, where do you go? Do you find another another foul that happened that you didn't really expect, anything like that. Also, Eric, I don't know what your situation is now, but if you want to come on, feel free to pop on, buddy. Love to have your insight. It's always good.
I think the video reviews are fantastic for stuff like questionable finishes. One guy pins the other guy, but there's an elbow foul in the process. That video review would be a fantastic tool to figure out, did the pin happen, then the foul? Right. Or did the foul come off first, which caused the pin? And the video could do a lot for stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as far as it's just two guys bitching back and forth, his elbow popped, his came off the side, it's going to be a frustrating nightmare.
If you are racing a false video review, then it's bad. It's bad. So you shouldn't get another chance to get a race for another video review.
Like a challenge. That's why I said I would like to see football, it be
right? The ref's discretion only to go to the tech if they want to go look at that.
Yeah. Gary made an interesting point though. Like he said, well, what are we going to have? 20 minutes of staring at a TV screen in between matches and like.
Well, it depends on how long the match is. If you've got anybody that knows how to use a computer decently, so like not me, but like a normal person, I'm sure they could just like fast forward or rewind to right where you want to look at, and then you can see what you wanted to see. It'll only take a few seconds. But if you've got a mic on Devon and a mic over on Mike, you know, or you got a commentator there, you can eat up 2 minutes, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
If we've got
anybody that can talk. And if you have Neil there, Neil can eat up 5 minutes between anything if it ever takes that long to video review. It shouldn't. It should only take a few seconds to go see exactly what it was you were looking at, make a decision, come back to the table. Right? And both guys, they're not allowed to leave the stage. They have to stay in their corners during this. So it shouldn't be difficult to work. Like you shouldn't have to worry about how long we're going to be looking at a blank screen. Nothing's happening.
Yeah. Now, what do you think the chances are Michael and Devon will probably just be like, yeah, I did that, or yeah, I didn't. I think they'd be a lot more professional, like, you know, so it doesn't have to go to a review. Just be like,
do you know how much money's on the line?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Actually, yeah, I do.
You're going to tell me for that much money, you're going to be like, yeah, I fucking did.
I have a feeling that they'd probably be a little bit more professional than a lower level, you know.
No,
like, yes, I did that.
I think this will be an absolute gutter war when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't see anybody really giving up too much in the way of that. But we did have a super chat, SCLM55, no comment, but $8 super chat. Thank you very much, SCLM55. Very, very good. Now, what about the other match that just kind of got added on at the end? We've got Coach Ray and the UAE national champ, whose name I've already forgot, Hazmir, something like that. Yeah. I don't know much about the guy. Do you guys know anything about this guy?
Yeah, he's from India.
Yeah, and how like what level is he on? So he won the UAE nationals. Like, would you put him at a pro level in India, an elite level in India? Where is he at?
I haven't seen him competing in India, but he used to compete in UAE, in Dubai, and like. That's all that I know about him. He's good top roller. Yeah,
from what I've seen, he's pretty dominant in UAE, and he looks like a super solid outside puller. Like I'm pretty sure that he convincingly beats
Right.
Just you're plugged in.
Now, Chance, you would probably know then, because it's kind of a last minute match, right? And they haven't really had a whole lot of time to prepare for each other. What do you think?
I mean, so it's again, I haven't felt either of them, so it makes it a little bit of a tricky question. But like, I think it's gonna come down to like who's better at their style, right? Like if Ray gets it inside, then Ray's gonna handle it 6-0. But if UAE champion, if he's able to keep Ray from accessing his lane, I mean, he's going to control the match pretty easily as well. So I don't think that it's going to be like a grinder either way. I think it'll be kind of pretty decisive for either person.
Yeah, I'm going with Coach Ray just because he has seemed to have gotten significantly better over the last several weeks as well, training with Larry. So I trust him. Ladies and gentlemen, new addition, the sixth man, Eric Racine. Eric, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad yourself.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Now, I just wanted to ask you, when you watched that rules video, were you like up and down having a heart attack as much as I was, saying, no, 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 no?
A few times. One of the ones I was worried about when he was about to go with the allowing the bobbing up and down for the Kings move, the nonstop warnings, you could do it a million times. So I'm so happy that they clarified that. Yeah. And I'm happy that Devon kept asking questions, because we ended up getting a few more things clarified by the end.
Yeah.
I really I wanted to just echo what Evan was saying. I completely agree with the video review that it should be at the ref's discretion as to what gets looked at, and exactly the examples he mentioned. What I'm really worried about is the fouls that are running fouls and the fouls that are stop the match, because it's to the foulers, as I mentioned earlier, it's to the foulers' advantage to stop the match. If you get a foul, you want to get the restart. You don't want to have to go and win the match to get the restart. So I'm worried about that.
Unless you want to bleed your opponent out.
He
froze pretty good.
Oh, Eric got frozen. We'll wait for Eric to get unfrozen. But that's
good.
Are you so that's another good question. I mean, is that what we're heading towards, do you think? Is one of these, I mean, I think if Devon gets the chance, and if Devon is dominant enough, I think he will pose for sure. But is it going to be one of Devon's main points of contention to purposely draw Mike out, or is he going to be trying to push to get this match over as quickly as possible?
If Devon can get into a position where he's got full hand and full shoulder over top of it, so that he's in a rested position and he can just lean on Mike, I'm sure he will. Mm-hmm. And, he'll do the looking at the crowd and the camera. He'll find that son of a bitch real quick and talk to it. But for him to start playing around in a match like this, unless he's got it all and he knows that he's bleeding the other guy and not himself at all, I would be worried about Devon getting tired in a match like this. Yeah, like we've seen him get tired in the last few years in matches. He's not 32 anymore.
Sure.
So is that also his weight as well? Because he's like, what, he was 290 the other day?
Is he that big?
It was in the evening with clothes, yeah. But
he's
like
so big.
Michael made a pretty good point on seeing Devon gas for the first time ever against Jerry, and he sat down even. He's like, what? And it was he 275 then, I think, and it was the biggest at the time he'd been. So that was my next question: is with his weight being that high, where is he sitting?
He wasn't even at 270 with Jerry.
Was he a little lighter than that?
The only time he broke 270 was Dave.
Okay.
But he definitely got tired. Like you saw him breathing really heavy and sweating, but I don't think his endurance was an issue in that match. He was still able to get in there and catch and hold in those later matches. And Jerry, his endurance is top notch for sure. Yeah. You rate all of Jerry's skills and stats, his press and his endurance, those are the two that just don't fail him, right? Like,
yeah.
So, but we've seen him get tired with other people as of late, but still, I don't know. He's trained really, really hard for this. And like, he was getting like fat and he seemed to have toned that way, way back during his long taper. He started into the cardio and stuff. And so he looks visibly, now that he's over there, he looks way, way better than he did a few weeks ago, the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
So he's lost weight.
I want to jump back, Eric, to the rules conversation a little bit. Is there anything in the rules that you've seen that you think is like, wow, this really, really benefits Devon, or whoa, this really, really benefits Michael? Or do you think what we're working with that, may or may not change in the next couple of days, do you think that this is a pretty fair way to handle this match?
I wasn't struck with any feelings of major advantage for one of it. I just feel there's a chance for confusion. That's my main worry. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them just stick with one of the normal rule sets. Like anyone, I don't care which one, just one of them, so everybody knows what you're expecting going in, and the ref's going to be a lot more prepared to deal with the match in that rule set.
Yeah.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing on another one of the big boys, one of the men who has got a little bit of inside information. He's been over there. He has held hands with many of these people. Mr. Derek Smith. What's going on, Derek?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Oh,
call. Here we go. Start off this call, and since I'm officially now the highest ranking super heavyweight on this call, Evan, I'm gonna need you to be quiet a little bit over there.
Derek.
Take that. Okay, I got that out of the way. How to say that.
He's won like 2 matches in his life left-handed. Listen to this fucking guy.
I know. I hate my left hand. I hate it.
And he can't even chug beer. God damn it.
Eric Rasan, happy to be here. Good to see you, bud. I hope you're doing well. Haven't talked to you in a while. Is Eric
See you too.
Oh, okay. What's up, Daniel? What's going on? KB Sports, what's cracking, man?
Yeah, hi, thanks. What's up?
So Derek, we're just kind of on the rampage. Everybody is just getting our jimmies rustled up for Friday, and like,
what's happening on Friday?
Oh, only the biggest thing in any of our lives. But
dude, if one more person asks me about the fucking time of that match, I'm gonna lose it. If one more person DMs me about the time of that match, I'm gonna lose the
now you should see how angry he gets on Discord. He gets asked like 90 freaking times. And then
I still don't even know what time it is.
As if I just know all about this match, like the ins and outs of it. I don't know. I don't know.
Look, 1 p.m. Eastern. You can do. Everybody else got to do the math. 1 p.m. Eastern.
There's a countdown timer on the Armbet website. I just look at that and I know how many hours away it is from now, and I'll figure it out from there.
Beautiful.
Where's everybody watching this? Are you guys like doing watch parties and shit?
Yeah, so there will be.
We're in the middle of lockdown, so I'm definitely not having the whole team get together and party.
Yeah, so we are doing a watch party here on ARMTV. No, we will not be showing the actual pay-per-view. That's not how watch parties
That's interesting, John. Are you going to do the whole thing while live sitting on here the whole day, or just that match?
The whole day?
Probably.
But as long as we...
He's alive.
Hey, can I say something?
What's up,
listen,
Gary?
Listen,
Gary.
He had to come back.
I am so mad.
Hey,
I am so mad.
Gary, you got that creepy lighting, like you make fun of everybody else. You got to turn the light on.
I'm listen, families, baby sleeping. I just got to say something. I have on record speaking of my opinions about everything, and then people come in and they tune in for 3 seconds here, an hour there, and then they form an opinion based on me that's not fully fleshed out. Listen, when I complain about the setup of a format, I'm not complaining about Michael Todd versus Devon Larratt strap matches. I'm complaining about my events. I want to have a king of the table. It's a speed process thing, lightest to heaviest. I firmly believe that a lighter guy in a king of the table can start to be more evenly matched once you break down and fatigue a guy. And when you have to stop to have a setup with the, continuation of the strap, for my format, I want to change it. So, and it's not for everyone else's events. It's just my events. You do you guys add your straps, do whatever you want. I'm not trying to alter the change of all arm wrestling. So anyways, it annoyed me when people in the straps, they just think I'm complaining, blah, blah, blah. Bite me, bitches.
Fair enough.
Dick. Such a dick, Gary.
Gary Roberts has spoken.
I think I just said last week that when you have Michael Todd and Devon Larratt, when you have so much on the line, that yes, the tension it can build up the excitement. Fine, that's going to be amazing. But like, I hate to throw. So I was just talking to somebody about Wisconsin State's. That was an 11-hour arm wrestling event. Yeah. 11 hours, and you have hundreds of matches. you count up how long it takes to get a grip, how long it takes competitors to get to the table, how long it takes for them to chalk up, how long it takes for all those things. As someone who wants to produce arm wrestling content, I'm about making it a little faster. I'm not trying to change high profile super matches, just wasted time. If you're trying to produce a TV show for my events, I'm trying to work on that. So anyways,
man, I'll tell you what, I thought we were going to get through an entire episode without talking about straps. I really thought we were going to do it.
Nope.
Well,
He woke up middle night. Somebody said strap. I'm going to get on here.
I forgot
Gary,
to
here's
say
an idea for you to sort out everything that you've got going on there that you're trying to sort out with how long it takes to get through all this. Just do amateurs only. Those dudes are super quick to run through.
Well,
you get lots of matches in a short time period.
No, I need views. I need views, bro. Nobody watches amateurs.
Well, sell those motherfuckers.
Anyways, I'll find out on my first event. If I am wrong, I'll come back here and say I'm wrong. Like, here's the, sorry to go on a diatribe, but Uncle John,
yes,
I tagged you on Bob Brown's video.
Yeah.
Bob Brown did a video talking about, Gary Roberts has an idea of starting in the power lock. And dude, the amount of fear I sense nothing but fear from arm wrestlers. Like, I want to have an event that's difficult. And if you're scared of starting in a power lock, then I guess my event is not for you. I mean, like, at the end of the day, I'm just a YouTube channel trying to create content. I mean, if I want to have a hooking only event, set grip, no straps, that's my prerogative. I'm just making YouTube content. I mean, some people are complaining that may not even ever enter. Like, anyways, it's weird to me to see people so complaining about what other people are doing to try to promote arm wrestling. It's like, hey, if you don't like what I'm doing, go promote. Like, look at what's happening right now. One man, Larry Wheels, stepped up, helped organize this event. It's the hottest thing in the last few years, bringing together Michael, Todd, and Devon Larratt. That's the power of one guy. If you don't like, if you don't like what someone else is doing, go do it. Create shit, create content.
Right.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate, Gary. Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
that's right.
What's the date on that ROTN, Gary? When's it coming up?
Father's Day weekend, June 19th.
There you go.
Eric Smith,
why anybody would stay away or shy away from an event just because there was a power lock reset if you slipped. We all arm wrestle because we love arm wrestling. So what? That might not be your strong spot. If this is a left-handed event and I have to start in the hook, I'm pretty screwed. But I'm still going to go to it. It's still an arm wrestling event.
Yeah, but you're not a pussy.
Losing just isn't that big of a deal. I mean, fuck, I've lost before. I'm going to lose it again, too. I just lost on the weekend to, like, one of the new kids on my team. Whatever.
So,
apparently,
Simon,
I need to stop pulling at practice, or at least not let people have video cameras go, because my ranking loses every time I have a practice.
Yeah, chance.
Hey, I haven't moved anyone in a while. So
No, the Ontario ranking. I just keep going down because I lose at practice to guys that aren't in my weight class.
Practice.
Hey, we did have a $5 super chat from Roger Podactor. He says, Derek, what time is the match?
Roger, you motherfucker. Dude, come on, guys. Leave me alone, man. This is some bullshit.
We also have
to put the Armbet.
John, here's a fun fact too. Roger Podactor is Desperation Pinocchio's brother.
What? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
They live in
Derek
Canada.
Smith.
Derek
Smith.
Gary Roberts.
Hey, what would it take to get a plane ticket to get to Chicago Father's Day weekend?
You don't want that bomb.
Pick you up at the airport.
You gotta get Chance, and you gotta pay for Chance there because he can ref and stream it on his little channel. So cute little channel.
Think about it.
No, I don't know. Let's talk more. We'll talk more. I gotta
think about it.
You see what I got going on.
All right, guys. Hey, I can't believe you're still rocking on here.
We're still going, man. We're full power.
That's amazing. All right, I'll sneak back into the bed with the missus. But chat, listen, chat, you people, be fully educated before you chime in with your opinions.
Damn.
There you go.
Yeah.
So angry.
Highly
Dictator
unlikely.
words right there.
You know, what can you
Dictator
do?
words.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, I've been wrong too. But the whole thing is, oh, I never finished my thought. The beauty of doing a YouTube channel is like you're not beholden. Like you can experiment and make a mistake. You're just creating content. Like if I have an event, it's a complete flop, I'll make a show about it being a flop. And then we'll readjust. We'll have another one. It's not like it matters. I'm just creating content. Like, and I'm going to experiment, see what works.
Create away, Gary. I love it.
Hey, I see some new faces on here. It was nice to see Chance. Thank you very much. Kibby, Uncle John, you're my
Nice to
hero.
see you, Gary.
And Eric, always a pleasure when Eric's on there. Chance,
Eric's amazing.
I'd love to see you too. Anyways, guys,
Now
thank
we're
you very
talking.
much. Back to my vacation.
See you later, Gary.
Bye, Gary.
Gary.
Sorry. Don't piss me off, Chad. I will return, you mofos.
Guys, do me a favor. Just no Gary talk in the chat, okay?
Yeah,
He's
we don't want
always
him back in
there.
here. Eric, you were around. Was it Pete Milano running those tournaments that there would be power hook starts in?
I think they may have done one of those.
It was only the one?
Maybe I think only one. Yeah.
Were you at it?
No, I was not. Jeff and John, I think, were there.
Why did you go? You didn't like the power hook starts?
No, I can't remember. I mean, I had babies at that time, so probably wasn't traveling much.
I'm sure it wasn't because of the power hook start that you didn't go.
Well, this
I
is
figured I just figured that you would have been at the event back at that time frame. I would like to see
I
your
went to a
opinion.
few. I went to a few of the Pete Milano's tournaments, just not that one in particular.
Now, do you know how that tournament went? Because Gary's all worried about how it's going to go if he does that. And it's been done before, right?
Yeah, I don't think attendance was or down. I think it just, turnout was decent.
yeah.
And
It's
the event
interesting.
itself. I never actually saw the footage of it. I was just reading about it on the message boards.
Yeah.
I should go
Hey,
find that.
We
I
do
got an
have-
idea.
Go ahead, Derek.
You guys want to hear a fresh idea? Kind of fresh, semi-fresh. What do you guys think about a Team Utah versus High Hooker Super Match Series? 5 different matches, 5 different weights. Check this out. Devon and Cody, left-handed. Jordan Sill and Brendan, right-handed. Right? And then we have Craig Touye and Alan, maybe? Alan Ford. Dude.
At 200?
Yeah, dude, we got some sick-ass matches. That'll be a sick team matchup. Chance, you know I'm talking to you.
Yes,
Dude,
100%.
This would be so
Sick
sick.
idea.
I just entered my brain. I was just thinking about that.
So you just want
I
like
matches.
the one team, the high hookers, against an entire state. We'll
No,
still
no,
win, but I mean,
No, that's a team in Utah. They
Yeah,
all
Team
train
Utah. Yeah.
That's Team Utah. That's a,
Out of
they're
an entire state.
right now they're probably the most legit team in the United States.
I would agree.
Yeah, dude, that would be sick. That would be so. And maybe who could Bob Brown face? Who?
well, why don't you just say to fuck with this 5 versus 5, and let's get 10 guys.
Let's
a lot
more
of
money.
matches.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of
Why-
money
why
in
can't we
matches.
just have a
Plane
whole team?
tickets.
Well,
Wait,
this is bullshit.
Evan-
Like, I'm sitting here as a heavyweight, and I don't get to have no fun because I got fucking stupid Devon on my team.
Didn't you
Yeah,
just
sorry
lose to a
about
new guy too? So you'd be like the
Yeah,
third.
well, hey,
super,
you
really.
wouldn't like the beer in Utah anyway. You wouldn't like the
Well,
beer down
yeah,
there anyway.
I'll just bring my own. They got Yingling down there. I like that shit. That stuff's delicious.
Dude,
They
that would be
got,
such a sick ass event.
That kid that I lost to is under 200 pounds. It's not my weight class. We don't have to worry about it.
That's even worse.
Hey, we got another
That's the one
super
that
chat
looks
here.
like you.
That explains why I beat you. Now I get it.
Yeah, because he looks fucking stupid.
We've got a super chat from the Swayze Express, $5. He says, "Can we see Chance Shaw in Engen's East versus West event in June? Who would Chance like to pull?" if you could go over there and pull one of the names over in the East, do you have anybody on the top of your head?
I've no idea who I'd be ready for. Like I would have some sort of answer for you if I had already pulled Ron and I had some intel there, but yeah, I don't know. It'd have to be like a mid-tier Eastern European, but I can't name a mid-tier Eastern European, right? Like my dream match, I'd love to pull Krasny, but I think I need a few more years for that. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. If you're ready to pull Ron, go pull Krasny. It'd be a fantastic matchup.
I'd love to pull
I've practiced with Krasny before. I mean, he's good. He's really good, but there's spots.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to pull Krasny.
You got a good spot for him.
Like stylistically, it's fun, and maybe Dmitry Silayev would be fun. He's a younger
Just don't pull him left.
No, of course not. My left is terrible.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. It's definitely worse than mine.
Yeah, which is saying a lot. So
I think it's worse than Artem's.
I think I got Artem by now, maybe.
I don't know.
But it's terrible that's even
Uncle John's definitely got Artem.
No, sorry. Sorry, love Uncle John, but not yet.
I will definitely be staking John in that match on Armbet.
If we're staking, I'll stake Artem.
Oh, for sure.
Uncle John versus Artem left-handed?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, John was a heavyweight. He said he kept most of his strength, and he's lefty. Dude, John, right?
John was a fat fucking heavyweight. That doesn't count.
You guys boost John, so I get more return on my stake on Artem. I'll take it.
I don't think you were paying attention whenever they explained staking.
Yeah, well.
Artem's on fire, though. He's doing good right now, so I got to give it to him.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only guy on this call that's pulled them both.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure you are.
I'm super fucking confident in staking John.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I outrank you. So what I'm saying is that I think that John would be
by 2 fucking spots.
Thanks, Chance. I appreciate that.
Because the fucking guy that you beat had chlamydia and couldn't pull.
Wait. On this topic, on the topic of that super chat, I gotta get out of here. I got groceries in the back seat. I was thinking, okay, Tony Katowski's gonna go over there and face, I can't pronounce his name, Bozhidar in Turkey, and Tony just lost to Roman Gromov at like 165 pounds.
He had one loss, but I think he beat him 2 other times. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
But the fact that there's a conversation there, and then
Tony also had a super match and lost against Chris Gellings that day. So
he had a super match that day too.
Yeah. So I don't know how much that played into his loss against Roman, but he lost 3-1 against Chris Gellings.
Ooh, man, I was.
And how ready was Tony for that event?
I don't know. I thought he was going to go over there and do really well. I don't know. No.
It's what, 3 weeks before Istanbul, right?
Yeah, you can't make substantial gains in 3 weeks. I mean,
yeah. So I mean, pretty close to what he'd be, I would imagine. Before
I'll say if I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I mean, if he is running crazy gear, I mean that could change it. Maybe he could do some crazy shit. Maybe that would change his strength.
Let's just assume, for argument's sake, that every single pro is running crazy amounts of gear.
Right.
Yeah. So that it's nothing personal if we get about anybody in particular.
Yeah. But yeah, if he could be on some not crazy shit for right now and then waiting for the big shit for that event if he was taking stuff.
Only 3 weeks out though? I don't know.
Well, no, you'd start, a few weeks before that.
Hey, Kibby, thanks for joining in, buddy.
Yeah, Kibby.
Thanks. Bye.
Personally, if it were me, I wouldn't be pulling 3 weeks before that anyways though. So
no, I get hurt every time I do back-to-back close events like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a terrible idea. Your body you need time to recover after an event, and then you've got to train again after your recovery to get peaked back up before you can compete properly again. If you try to pull events back-to-back weekends or even 2 weeks off like that, you're not showing up at your best. You're just not.
Yeah, I do a lot of.
I think it's a disrespect to your opponent that you're showing up half-assed.
Yeah,
it's like making an excuse before you get there.
I do a ton of back-to-back, and it definitely affects. I would never do a tournament within a month or two of a super match, so that's terrible.
And how old are you?
22.
Yeah, see, that's a big difference whenever you get
I don't know, but like hormone-wise, I'm like 80, so I'm not sure I have great recovery anyways.
Well, hormone wise, I'm like 4 12-year-olds, but still, I don't recover that fast.
We did have another super chat from David Tomes. He says, "You want to try the high hookers? I dare you to attempt pulling pork chop." How strong?
Oh, fucking pork! I didn't even think about pork chop. You got pork chop too in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't get to have pork chop pulling, or me pulling, or Slater pulling, or like half our fucking team because you want to make these stupid fucking rules because they only got 5 guys on their team. Well, say their team's better than ours, but we're only allowed to pick 5 guys.
I thought it'd be a cool matchup. They might not have as big of a team as you, but I just thought it'd be cool.
Well, you could do like
Cody Wright.
You could do like Evan and Jordan left.
No, Evan and Cody Wright.
No, the dude that just beat you right-handed would get Cody before you do. That would make any sense.
The dude that just beat me is like 180 pounds, and it was out of fucking practice, you dick.
Hey, either way, I'm just saying. Like you and Jordan left, like that's a good match, or maybe
Cody
pork chop and Cody, right?
Cody and I have already talked several times about us pulling right-handed.
Yeah.
So I would rather me do that because I'm super, and pork chop's only like 240.
Okay.
He's only 240. How tall? He looks so sick. How tall
I
is
think
that?
He's like 5'6".
Oh,
that explains.
Yeah, he's built like a cannonball, man.
Hey, I'm off, guys. Thanks for having me.
Chance, thanks for coming, buddy.
Hey, guys.
See you, Chance.
Hey, I probably got to go in there too, man. I got groceries in the car. I got to get in the house. But you guys are all awesome. Evan, keep training. Top 10. It's crazy over here in the top 10. I don't even know what I'm doing up here. It's just wild. You'll get there though. One
Derek,
day.
You're a savage.
I hate that guy. And he's so
only
fucking
one
tall
break so I can
too.
talk shit to Evan. That's the only reason I'm hyped about being in the top 10 finally for once in my life.
I'm gonna punch you right in the hip.
All right, guys. Love you guys to death. You guys are awesome. I'll talk to you later.
All right, later, buddy.
It is Derek.
Daniel son, what's happening? Uncle John rocks.
Cobra Rhodes is in the house, ladies.
What up, what up, Mr. Evan?
What up, Cobra? What's happening?
Motion. Slow motion, just hanging out, working on my tan a little bit.
Nice. So update for everyone in the chat. We're here. We've pared our numbers down. I've actually locked the Zoom chat because Zoom sent me an email saying you're at risk. I think we had some people trying to like bombard the stream for a bit. So we're just going to go ahead and keep it up to 4 of us because we know who we all are. And we will move forward with this information.
I never got to hear all the screaming. Who was it that kept logging in or kept signing into the call and just screaming something stupid? I heard about it. Never got to see it.
That was like a month ago. I don't know. We never figured out what was going on with all that. Cobra Rhodes, my man. We've got one of the biggest matches of all time. Certainly one of the biggest matches in the last, modern era of arm wrestling. It's happening on Friday.
Yeah.
Where are you at right now with this match?
Right now, I'm leaning towards violence. It's going to be hot in the first 2 rounds. I just hope it doesn't peter out. Someone could get injured in one of these positions that these guys are going to end up in. And I think it's just going to be violent, and something could happen early. First 2 rounds, if Devon's going to win this thing, he's going to be so vicious early, especially if Michael lays back on his tricep. Devon's got to try to break it off while they're dry, while they're fresh. You have to send a message. I mean, if he can chip his armor a little bit, Michael gets in that position, and if Devon's this big and this strong, you've seen a guy teeter-totter, you know what I mean? Getting out of the way to not get hurt. I don't know if anyone's going to get themselves out of the way. I think it's just going to be violent. The first 2 rounds is what I'm interested in. I think that'll tell the story.
I think you're right. I think there's no other way. There is no other way, right? I don't foresee this being a game of testing out. These guys have tested it out, right? I think they're going to come hard. I think they're going to come fast. And it will be interesting to see how much violence we get in that first round. The other question is, what kind of Devon is coming to the table, right? Is it going to be a Devon like when he was against Matt Mask and he was just, the mouth was just nonstop? Are we going to see that? Or is Devon going to come in a little bit differently?
I think Devon's smarter than that, because you can't. The thing about Michael is the guy never goes away. I'm not wishing him ill will or an injury to either of the kids, but Devon is so big right now. If he gets angles and Michael's in that spot, something could happen that people haven't seen before.
Very interesting. Very interesting. We had another super chat from David Tomes, $5. Thank you very much, David. I'm a noob, but
Thanks,
Cobra
David.
is my target. I guess for my weight class. I'm coming to get you, Cobra. I'll be the mongoose.
Oh, sweet pea, don't do that. Don't do that, honey. There's been 100 guys called mongoose. I mean, save your own. You know, back in the 90s, they didn't call me Cobra. They called me bad draw words. So be careful what you wish for. Daniel, son, what's happening, man?
Not a whole lot, just working a lot, you know, and hanging on these. I'm a professional super chatter now. I guess I got deemed.
Nice.
I was kind of curious and wondering. I seen you shaved for Nevada. What you said? If you shave, we will know. You got something planned?
Yeah. I've been closing my hand a little bit, and Uncle John's been giving. I never lifted weights in my career, but Uncle John's got me on some high rep, low weight stuff, doing pyramids and such. And yeah, my pussy hurts right now, bro. But I mean, pain's a friend of mine, so we'll get it on. We'll get it on.
How you feeling on your arm? Is everything feeling pretty flowing?
Yeah, everything's healthy, but man, it hurts. I'm like a cherry, bro. I don't care for it, but I mean, I shave, so you know what's coming.
I do. Something's coming big.
That man's gonna say go one time for me.
And where is this fountain of youth at? You shaved, and I was like, oh my God, Cobra's 20 again. Holy crap.
Yeah, just brunettes.
There you go. There you go. So we've got this match coming up. We got a lot of other things going on too. So tomorrow night, we got Arm Wrestling After Dark. That's going to be happening. Thursday, we're going to have a preview show. Cobra Rhodes will be coming on. We're going to talk about this match, and we're just going to talk it out. And of course, we've got the watch party that will be happening on Friday. So a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure there's a ton of other YouTube guys that are going to have stuff going on as well. But Cobra, you were at a pretty huge event not that long ago out in Nevada. How was it to be back, getting the band back together? I saw you were with a bunch of the old boys.
Yeah.
Good time. How was that?
That was fun, bro. That was fun. It was cool being there with a bunch of the veterans. You know, I had a couple cold ones with guys that were in the Nam and in Korea, and of course the desert. But it was just a cool experience. It was a great day for arm wrestling. And I'll tell you what, man, Ron, I'm so happy for Ron back. Just I hadn't seen Ron in a long time, but like that guy right now is like so happy in his life. And I mean, if you saw him pull, you understand all that good stuff transcends to the arm wrestling table.
Yeah.
When you're loving life the way he is right now. And I was really happy for him and arm wrestling, because that keeps Ron around at the top of his game longer. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I used to bang with Ron back in the 80s, so just to see him still around, it's given me a little bit of a, made me shave.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Evan, I wanted to talk to you actually about the match between Justin Bishop and Paul Talbot. Did you see that?
I didn't get to see it.
Man, check it out after this. Like,
I was trying super hard to watch it that day when it was on. But then I couldn't even find it on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah, there was some issues with the live stream going down and whatnot. But Paul Talbot, my Lord.
Yeah.
He's a bad dude.
Bishop has all the way over.
The way he slides that shoulder, I don't know where that power comes from.
Out of nowhere, just dedicates full shoulder side pressure commitment from a complete losing position. And it goes all like.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing. $5 super chat from SCLM55. He said he's paid his money for the pay-per-view. He says,
nice. All right, 55.
On the 28th. If so, where do I watch it? I don't want to miss it. So my understanding is that you should be getting an email from Core Sports after you pay for your pay-per-view. And then you just go back to that same Core Sports website, whatever the actual website is, and it should have the link in your email, or you can go back to that website and get it from there. That's the extent of what I know as far as that goes. But I'll tell you what, it's about 12:20 in the morning here, boys. You got any other interesting issues that are going on?
Oh, just for the guys in the chat, hey, smash that like button, you guys. What's up?
Not bad. We're at 158 likes. Pretty decent. We'd like to see it up around 200, though. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah. Close. Let's finish strong.
The views were good. I think they were 270 when I hopped on here. I was actually pretty impressed.
Nice. Yeah, that's good stuff. And I assume that it will be continuing to get crazier, right? So don't be surprised if you are logging on to any of these, anybody's chat live stream in the next few days. They're going to get pretty hot and heavy, I'm guessing, just because there's so many people that are interested in Larry and Schoolboy and Devon and Michael. And so my plan is to just continue to talk about all the nonsense, because I'm sure there will be more videos coming from Dubai in the coming days. I'm sure they'll probably get more rules information out to us, and we'll take it as it comes. And that's about it. Evan, I'm assuming you're going to have the whole thing on ready to go. Got a nice setup from your home.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the team's definitely not all getting together and partying while watching it.
Yeah, definitely not happening.
No, we're all going to watch it like individually in our own homes and just like call each other and, you know, hey man, did you catch that match? Yeah, that's what we're going to do it.
I mean, it's not a very big thing over there in Ottawa or anything, I'm sure. I mean, you know,
yeah,
might be slightly important. We got another $5 super chat from David Tomes. Thank you, David. He says, hey, Cobra, I admire you, man. I just want to pull you. Practice is always fun.
All right, bro. Anytime, my man. Anytime. Just you bring the chalk and I'll bring this little
There it is. Evan, is there any sign of any tournaments or anything going on in Ontario? Or are you guys pretty screwed as far as that goes?
Well, we're trying to set up something pretty cool over the summer at down on Wasaga Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And bunch of like good matches, like really good matches. So that'll be like a really good event for Ontario, if we're even going to be allowed to do it.
Well, that's the question. We've got one scheduled for July 10th, which I think is like a 2% possibility. And then we got ones for like August 14th, which I think maybe we'll get the August show in, possibly.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it lets us compete again. But until then, we just keep doing what we're doing, and I'll lose practice matches.
That's it, man. Excellent. Well, boys, I'll tell you what. I think since we're going to I'll be on one way or another for about 800 hours for the rest of this week. We'll cut it off here. But thanks, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks everybody in the chat for joining us. We were pretty consistent, close to 200 people for the entire time, if not more. So thanks everybody for being here. And subscribe to ARMTV. Subscribe to Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show. Subscribe to Cobra Road. Subscribe to Daniel Urich. So even subscribe to Evan Burgoyne. You still got a channel, don't you, Evan?
I think so. It's there.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah. Nice. Oh, I think
I've been recording tons of shit to put on there, and I just don't feel like it.
It's never quite makes it.
Yeah.
Well, we're always happy. There's nothing that makes me happier than a Evan Burgoyne video that just randomly pops into my feed every now and again, because you know it's always going to be good. But
it's worth a laugh sometimes.
100%. I'm sure I'll be talking to you guys more over the next week. But enjoy the festivities, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Good night, man.